30 years. It's been a lifetime since the New York Jets were football's best. But this year may just be their year. Today, Gang Green and their fans play host to quarterback Jon Kitna and the Seattle Seahawks. Still alive for the wild card after last week's last-second win. The stakes get higher in December. Next. A magnificent day for football in the Meadowlands for two teams in the playoff hunt as the Seahawks visit first place New York. The weather, in a word, is spectacular, as is the race in the AFC East. New York tied with Miami for first place. The Seahawks are alive and kicking in the West, but must win the rest of the way to remain in the playoff picture. Hi again, everyone, with Coach Sam White. This is Kevin Harlan. We had a chance to visit with Jets coach Bill Parcells yesterday. He could not stress more the importance of today's game against Seattle.
Well, he said by beating the Seattle Seahawks today, they control the fortunes of this football team. If they can't beat Seattle at home today, he wasn't sure that they would be good enough to beat the tough opposition that comes after.
And they have got a brutal December schedule with teams like Miami, Buffalo, and New England here on the docket. As for Seattle, they have put a ton into the worth of today's game.
Let me put it in the words of Chad Brown there, a linebacker, that this is a playoff game in his mind, and those two young linebackers are going to start today along with him. He said, let's go slap them on the butt and let's eat.
The plate is full. Pull up a chair. It's the Seahawks and Jets next on CBS. Welcome back to the Meadowlands. It's the Seahawks and the New York Jets. Dennis Erickson is in his fourth year as the coach of Seattle. He was given a mandate before the season began that he had to make the playoffs. His team comes in 6 up and 6 down into today. And Bill Parcells in his second year with the Jets, 14th year as an NFL head coach. We are underway. The Jets and Seahawks, and Steve Broussard goes to a knee. A kickoff by John Hall, who had 10 kickoffs a week ago, 7 of which went into the end zone. 26-year-old Jon Kitna is the quarterback.
And Dennis Erickson found him because his nephew played for Central Washington, where Kitna played collegiately. Went down there, worked him out himself, liked him. He's starting his second game this year and his third game ever in the National Football League, and they have to win with him at the helm.
You watched him last week on tape. What do you think of his delivery and his approach?
I liked him even last year in the preseason. I like him right now, but he's still young. All those mistakes that young quarterbacks make are ahead of him.
On the 20-yard line, first down and 10 yards to go. Hand off to Ricky Waters, who was belted by Chad Cascade after a gain of a couple yards. The Seattle offense today, former first-round pick Walter Jones at the tackle, Pete Kendall at the guard, Gray at the center taking the place of the injured Kevin Glover, Brian Habib and Howard Ballard at the tackle. Waters will carry it. Max Strong will block. The great Joey Galloway with Mike Pritchard at the wide receivers. The tight end is Christian Fourier. It's second down and 8 from the 22. Kitna goes to his second option, dumps it off to Ricky Waters, who stiff arms his way close to a first down. He's out to the 28. He picks up 6 on second down and 8. And Victor Green, who leads this team in tackles, makes the stop as you take a look at the Pro Bowler Aaron Glenn. The Jets with Lyle Ferguson, who may be their best defensive lineman, Ernie Logan, and Anthony Pleasant has been a pleasant surprise at the end. Linebackers Lewis Johnson and Brian Cox, the rejuvenated Brian Cox. And in the secondary, Glenn, Green, Henderson, again starting for Kevin Williams, and Otis Smith. Third down and a long 2 outside the 28. Kitna again to the air. Good block by Gray. Runs outside. Gets a block from Jones. There goes a flag. And he is taken down at about the 27-yard line with the flag again thrown at the 38.
Looked like defensive holding. As you can see the indication there. Yeah, it's going to go against the New York Jets as they had them on third down, but the holding's going to give Seattle a first.
Phil Luckett is our referee.
Holding, defense number 31. 5 yards with an automatic. First down.
Phil Luckett is the same referee who had the coin flip Thanksgiving Day between Pittsburgh and Detroit.
Oh, you would bring that up right at the top of the game.
It's a statement of fact.
It's a statement of, he is a good official, but he did have and will be remembered for that coin toss.
So because of the penalty, it is a first down out near the 33-yard line. Pritchard is in motion. And the handoff again to Ricky Waters, who has seen many games against the Jets, and a pickup of 2 as he takes it right up the middle.
Ricky Waters has already had 3 100-yard games this year. He's had 24 of them in his career, and their record, and his record, 22-2 on the team that he plays for when he rushes for 100 yards. He wants the ball.
Well, he's been with San Francisco. He's been with Philadelphia. He has a reputation of being selfish. Dennis Erickson says he just brings toughness to the team.
I don't think he's selfish. I think that's what he is. He wants to win.
Second down and 8. Nice block by Fourier. That enables Waters to cut the corner, and he is close to a first down again as he's out near the 40-yard line, picking up 5. And again, Victor Green makes the stop from the secondary.
Well, the other thing that Ricky Waters does, he helps this young quarterback, John Kitna. This is only Kitna's second start this year, third start ever. And he has to have a good complement in the run game. His wide receivers are his key receivers, although he's laying the ball off as a secondary receiver back to Ricky Waters again.
Kitna, with his performance last week with a couple touchdown passes, was the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. He faces 3rd and 4 from the shotgun. Again, given great time to throw, and a wonderful knockdown by Aaron Glenn on a pass intended for Joey Galloway, and a late flag comes in at the 50. For a second there, it looked like it was clean, and a late flag came flying in.
Pass interference, defense, number 31. That's an automatic first down.
All right, here's Aaron Glenn now covering Joey Galloway. That's the matchup we're going to see all day long. Here's the hole. See, he's got his hands on him, and the official up here makes the call. The official behind looked at it, was giving it the safe call. The official in front could see that hand action.
The Glenn-Galloway matchup will be a beauty to watch all day long.
Aaron Glenn is looking forward to it, I can tell you that, talking to him.
And you can just see that the Jets don't get penalized often. First and 10 from the 48. Kitna across the middle, and an acrobatic catch is made by Mike Pritchard, his 37th reception of the season. He picks up 6 right there on first down.
He's a key third down receiver for them. But I'll tell you, just watching on first, second down, watching John Kitna right now, he's leading himself twice, 3rd down and 3 or less. And both times, the Jets committed a foul and gave him the first down. But John Kitna's making something happen on first and second down, so he's not leaving himself in that heavy pass rush on third.
Approaching 3 minutes gone, scoreless first quarter. Second down 4, blocked by Ballard, offering the quarterback Kitna some time, and the pass caught by last year's starting tight end, Carlester Crumpler. Picks up 3 yards on the play, just his 6th reception of the season.
And you see the fake. This little bootleg. Every team has this play. Right-handers do better going to their right. John Kitna throws a little bit behind, but he puts it right into the body.
You were watching Kitna in the pregame warm-ups, and you did not like what you saw.
You know, you watch quarterbacks warm up, and you try to get an indication on whether they're hot that day or not. Kitna was having all kinds of troubles. The ball was flying out of his hand, probably a little bit nervous, the adrenaline flowing. I can remember when I was coaching Boomer, there would be days I'd walk back in there just before the kickoff and say, the guy's dropped the ball and missed the ground. He's off today. And Boomer go out there and light it up. John Kitna so far today is the exact opposite of his warm-up look.
What did you ever find when you started a young quarterback in his second game as opposed to his first?
Tougher. Usually that's where more mistakes are made. He's known all week he's going to be the guy. The expectations are higher, a little more nervous.
Kitna is 3 of 3 so far. 3rd and 1, 7th play of the Seattle tournament. Fumble on the play. It's down at the 42. The body language would tell you the Jets have gotten it. And they have received the ball on a fumble on the exchange from center Chris Gray to quarterback John Kitna. A tough turnover against Seattle.
Chris Gray replacing Kevin Glover at offensive center. It looked like a little bit early, pulling away for John Kitna.
The Jets will get it for the first time.
This is a message for Brian.
A Seattle fumble on their first possession will see the Jets and quarterback Vinny Testaverde, the 2nd-rated NFL quarterback.
And number 1 in the AFC, Randall Cunningham, number 1. He's number 1, though, in the AFC in touchdown passes. Already thrown 20 of them this year.
So they take over after the Seattle fumble at their own 42. Keith Byers in motion. Little play action to Martin outside goals to the aforementioned Byers. He's down the sideline and then upended by Williams. It's a gain of 18 on first down. Take a look at the New York offense today. Their line, Jumbo Elliott playing better than ever with Berger, Mawai, a former Seahawk, O'Dwyer, and the Jason Fabini-Sinclair battle today will be one to watch. Martin with the blocking back and catching back Byers. Keyshawn Johnson and Crabette the wide receivers. And it's been a breakthrough season so far for tight end Kyle Brady.
18 receptions and 4 touchdowns already this year for Kyle Brady.
They've been a disappointment up until this year. First down to the 40-yard line of Seattle. Other play action going to Martin. Time for Vinny Testaverde. Then it collapses, and down he goes. Sacked by Philip Daniels, and a flag is down at the 36. Testaverde wasn't touched last week against Carolina. Not touched at all. Not sacked. Not even brushed against by the Carolina defense. And it's a penalty called on Seattle.
And here's the famous Thanksgiving Day toss of the coin.
Head. He said head.
Look at Bettis' reaction. Look at Bettis.
What did you hear, Kevin? Did you hear heads or tails?
I heard heads. But you know, KDKA, our affiliate in Pittsburgh, had amplified the noise 10 times, and they heard both calls made on the flip by the Steelers.
Well, I tell you what, I think I can hear 2 calls as well. And at the moment, you got to make the call if you're the official.
Penalty on Seattle gives a first down to the Jets at the 35. Testaverde throws, caught by Crabette. What a great grab and a thicket of Seattle defenders. He's to the 12. It's a gain of 23. And the eventual tackle is made by rookie Deshaun Miles.
Vinny Testaverde throws this pass as well as anybody ever has, not just doing it right now. And Wayne Crabette, better in the slot. When he gets inside, gets matched up more with safeties and linebackers. He's good at eluding them, and he is an excellent. Now, that time he didn't have to read the zone, but he is so good at reading the zone and sitting down in the open areas. On the other hand, Keyshawn Johnson, when he's split out wide, is the in man on the line, the widest receiver. That's where he shines most.
This was all set up by a Seattle fumble. They have fumbled, by the way, on their first possession 3 consecutive weeks. Testaverde to the end zone. Crabette was there. He had a gap, and it's incomplete. A little high, maybe a little wide, but Crabette usually snares those kinds of passes. Incomplete, and another flag is down. Seattle's defense with Sinclair, number 2 in the NFL in sacks. Adams, Kennedy, the perennial Pro Bowler, and Philip Daniels. Linebackers today, a couple rookies starting. Simmons, their first-round pick. Miles, their fourth-round pick. And Chad Brown is outside. The great Chad Brown. He's had a wonderful November. Springs, Bellamy, Darrell Williams, and the former Steeler Willie Williams are in the secondary for the Seahawks. They come in with the number 25 defense in the NFL.
Illegal shift, offense, 2 men moving, failing to reset. That's a 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
And again, the Jets, the 3rd least penalized team in the NFL entering today.
Well, not today, though. They're just committing a lot. It's the 3rd one already today. We're early in the first quarter. They are throwing the football on offense. Vinny Testaverde putting the ball in the air. On that last play, Jay Bellamy, the safety for Seattle, slipped and fell down in the end zone. I'm wondering if those ripples that were repaired just before kickoff aren't still alive down there.
Good point from the 17. 1st and 15. A lead block from Kyle Brady, and the handoff goes to Martin, who is down near the 13-yard line. Picking up perhaps 3, and Cortez Kennedy makes the tackle.
You know, right before the game started, we got the word from Frank Ramos of the New York Jets that they were going to replace the end zone because the warm weather had created some wrinkles in the Jets end zone. They put the soccer end zone in there to try to pull it tight. You can see it right there. But there still could be some soft spots in there. Jay Bellamy may have slipped on one.
2nd down and 11 inside the 14. Testaverde dumps it in the flat. Caught by Curtis Moulton. Gets by Chad Brown, and then gets him from behind. Brings him down at the 9. Gain of 4. Tackled by the aforementioned Brown, leading the team in tackles. He had 5 sacks in the month of November. Thus, the AFC Defensive Player of the Month. He's been magnificent.
Chad Brown is special. He does everything, as he pointed. It was quick to point out to us that he's in coverage. He puts his hand down, meaning he's in a 3-point stance, rushing the passer in nickel situations, 3rd down passing. He plays the traditional linebacker spot where he may or may not rush. But he's a unusual player. I call him special players because you don't find players that can do all those things and do them well very often in this league.
3rd down and 7, a scoreless first quarter. Good time again for Testaverde. Throws, caught by Crevette, leaping at the 5, shy of a first down. His progress probably takes him to the 3. And Crevette shy of the first down.
Watch Testaverde right here. Now he looks to the right. Now the ball's going to come back to the left. He finds Crevette at the last minute, but his initial read was to the right. But when you read the right side, you know what's happening on the left if you're a veteran.
Well, it's 4th down and about a yard. Parcells has decided to go. One note on Crevette, he had converted 11 consecutive 3rd down receptions to first downs until that right there.
He's a go-to guy. And now it's going to be a timeout for Seattle because they weren't ready with the change, the offensive change in personnel. You know, there's a rule. You have to give the defense time to match up. But when they switch like that late on a 4th down call, you never see the officials hold it up.
Seahawks burn a timeout here in the Meadowlands.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Cadillac and your local Cadillac dealers. 10-10-220. And by the United States Marine Corps, the change is forever.
Kevin Harlan, Sam White here from the Meadowlands. A perfect day for football. A turnover by Seattle set up this good-looking drive by the Jets. They face 4th and 1 at the Seahawks 3. Byers in motion. A couple tight ends. Testaverde looking for Byers. He's got it. Touchdown.
Ball handling by Vinny Testaverde, and he's going to stay in the pocket. He's got pressure coming from the backside. One man in the flat. Keith Byers in the corner of the end zone. Wide open for the touchdown. Everything hinges on how good that fake is, and they sold the Seahawks on a run.
No running back in the history of the NFL has caught more passes than Keith Byers. He lassos his 3rd touchdown reception. John Hall puts it through for the extra point. And the Jets cash in on a Seattle fumble. Testaverde with 2 big completions, including the pass to Byers.
If you thought chivalry was dead, meet Sammo Hung and Arsenio Hall.
Anybody else?
Martial Law, CBS Saturday.
In '96, red couples rallied Team USA to a remarkable victory. Now America's best battle the world's greatest golfers for the coveted President's Cup on CBS.
After the Seattle fumble, Vinny Testaverde went 5 for 5 on the drive, including an 18-yard pass to Byers, then culminating with a 3-yard touchdown pass to Byers. Testaverde looking sharp.
Well, I'll tell you what, he is as pure a passer. I had him 1 year in Tampa. I wish I could have had him longer. As pure a passer as there is in the National Football League. Beautiful throwing motion.
Kickoff again by Hall. He's got a cannon for a leg, and it goes deep at the goal line. Broussard, who has already returned a kickoff this year for a touchdown, and he's drilled at the 12-yard line. Leon Johnson, Corwin Brown, both combine along with Dwayne Gordon to wrap up the ever-dangerous Broussard. It's 7-0 the Jets on a Testaverde touchdown pass.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Intrigue by Oldsmobile and by Pizza Hut, home of the stuffed crust pizza, the most fun you can have with a pizza.
Back in the Meadowlands with Sam White, Kevin Harlan. New York up on a touchdown pass, 7-0. New York's defense comes into today number 4 in the NFL.
Last week against Carolina, Carolina went 80 yards. After that, only 1 yard the first half. They stood up to it, New York.
Kittner right to work on first down. Throws to Pritchard, chased by Smith, knocked out of bounds by Green, and a first down gallop. He's up to the 30-yard line, 16-yard gain on first down.
Right on the sideline now, watch John Kittner. This is a young quarterback. I'm going to keep reminding you of that because he's doing a lot of things that young quarterbacks normally don't do. Now, right along the sideline, this is where the officials watch. See the shove? Inbounds. It's a legal shove. You can scoot up that sideline and get a couple more yards. John Kittner, though, does not play like a quarterback that is in his 3rd start in the National Football League. He goes to alternate receivers, and he's throwing accurately so far this first quarter.
31st and 10. Waters out of the backfield, but Kittner goes downfield. It ricochets off the palms of Pritchard, intercepted by Henderson. Still on his feet, gets a block. He's inside the 30. It's a second turnover for Seattle. It's a return of 22 yards. A flag has been thrown on the play.
No, I tell you what, Kevin, I think.
And they fumbled it on the return, and it's loose at the 30-yard line. He was marking where the ball was down with the flag.
That's right. The Jets fumble the ball, and Seattle recovers. It'll be first down for Seattle.
It's intercepted, return, fumble. Seattle recovers, first and 10.
This ball just ricochets. Now, John Kidd, when that juices are flowing, sometimes the ball flies. See how the height, anytime you throw in the middle and the ball is high, you get a chance for this kind of a return or interception. But Jerome Henderson, hold on to the ball. Ball is stripped loose. It's free again. First down, Seattle.
On the 30-yard line. Hand off to Waters. He dances by Pleasant. He's down near the 30-yard line and may have lost a half yard on the play. And then a little shove after the play into the face of Brian Cox. The emotional battle there between both Cox and Waters. Two of the fiercest personalities on the field.
Well, Bill Parcells told us yesterday that Brian Cox is explosive. He stirs things up. That's exactly what he's doing right there. This is the first time, really, that the Jets on a running play have come up. Now, Brian Cox, a little something on the pile. Ricky Waters didn't take it.
They have loved Cox since he has been with the Jets. It's second down and 10. Kitna's got a receiver. Galloway may be gone with the Pro Bowler Glenn on his back. Touchdown, Seattle. 70 yards. A stunning play.
Joey Galloway, probably the fastest guy on the field. It's a step and go. He's just going to run a go. There's an all-out blitz by the Jets. It's one-on-one on the outside. We asked Joey Galloway last night if he was the fastest guy on the field. He kind of laughed at me. He said, "You mean in the National Football League or just on my team?" I was trying to get him to say, "Hey, you ever have any challenge races?" He's the fastest guy on the field.
And to think what just 5 minutes ago spelled doom with the supposed Henderson interception deep in Seattle territory. He fumbles it away, and a couple of plays later, Seattle is right back. There's the extra point by Peterson. An unbelievable turn of events in the Meadowlands. Galloway, 70-yard touchdown reception. We are tied at 7. Joey Galloway may be the fastest player in the National Football League, and that time he had caught a 70-yard touchdown pass from John Kitna.
That answers the question about how Kitna will respond to the touchdown. And as you mentioned, a big turn of events with the interception. The Jets could have marched right on down as easily as they did the first time and gone up 14-0. Instead, it's tied at 7.
So on the longest pass play allowed by the Jets this year, let's see how they respond. Here comes Aaron Glenn from near the goal line, and he takes it up near the 22-yard line.
Joey Galloway, now he just is straight outrunning Aaron Glenn. Put that ball away, Joey. That's one coaching point I'd make, because Aaron Glenn, if he could get close enough to you, would try to strip it loose from you. 70 yards, that's the longest touchdown catch of his career after 59 ball games. Look how close Joey Galloway and Steve Largent are in statistics. Can politics be far away for Joey Galloway?
Galloway catches his 7th touchdown of the year. Had one last week against Tennessee, so 2 in 2 games. We thought this might be a breakthrough year. We saw him earlier in the season against Pittsburgh, where he had 7 catches that day in that September game at Three Rivers. From the 22, the Jets, first and 10. Testaverde hands off to Curtis. Up the middle it goes before Chad Brown brings him down after a gain of 7. Let's go to Jim Nance at our CBS studios in New York.
All right, Kevin. Peyton Manning has now thrown for more yards in a rookie season than any other quarterback, and twice today he's thrown touchdown passes. This one to Torrance Small, and look at it. The Colts are up 14-0 down in Atlanta. Let's head back to Kevin and Sam.
The Colts have never lost against the Falcons. 10-0 coming into today.
Yeah, they never played Peyton Manning either.
That's exactly right. Good report, Jim. Thank you. Second down 3. Once again, whacked on the play by rookie Deshaun Miles. And perhaps 2.
You know, Kevin, the turnaround right there, the fact that the Seattle Seahawks got back in this ball game, now that defense has the extra inspiration. This is a good defensive football team. Chad Brown and Sinclair are 2 of the finest defensive players on one ball club as there is in the league. Chad Brown playing everything, as we mentioned. He's playing with two rookie linebackers in that lineup today, with Deshaun Miles and Anthony Simmons replacing injuries.
Third down, long one. Brady on the move outside the 30-yard line. Pitch out goes to Martin. Got a quick block in the backfield from Brady, but will be shy of the first down. Maybe got to the 31-yard line. And there, Willie Williams from the corner.
Third down conversions are so important in this league. That's how you keep drives going. Unless, of course, you're throwing the ball like Vinny Testaverde is throwing the football. You never get to third down. At least you don't get there very often. Chad Brown told us yesterday that this offense is a circular offense with Curtis Martin, a threat, the run pass, and then, of course, the straight drop back. They just kind of wind and chase their tail. They keep doing one after the other. Each sets up the other kind of throw.
Testaverde may not get to third down often, but when he does get to third down, he is the #1 rated quarterback in the NFL on that particular down. And probably because of his wide receivers.
Well, he's got, in Corbett and Keyshawn Johnson, he's got clutch receivers, but he's also got that pure passing motion that can get the ball in tight spots. Third down, everything kind of tightens up. He's got a rifle arm.
John Kidd is the third punter that the Jets have used this year. He replaces Brian Hansen, who replaced Nick Galloway after the first week. And there's Joey Galloway back, and he is probably more dangerous as a punt return guy. 2 touchdowns he has returned this year against Oakland and San Diego on punts. John Kidd, who has spent 15 years in the NFL, gets his wobbly, and this will be fair caught back at the 32-yard line by Galloway. A 37-yard punt by Kidd. Well, John Kitna has got that look about him at the professional level, overseas in the World League for Barcelona.
The Barcelona Dragons. Here's one of those touchdown passes over in the World League or the NFL in Europe. A lot of good football players are trained over there. The NFL teams like to send promising young players over there to get that experience.
So Seattle gets it, first down and 10. Ricky Waters. There's a good block put on Ferguson by Chris Gray, the center, and Waters gets a gain of about 7 yards, and he's outside the 40-yard line as you see the Patriots and the Steelers in balmy Pittsburgh today, where it's over 70 degrees. And other scores.
Doug Flutie looking like he's having another good day. That's why we talked about Patriots.
Second down, 3. Quick count. They get a first down here. And with Waters, it's up to the 44-yard line and a gain of a couple.
Let me tell you, Bill Parcells understands that that coach right there has not thrown the towel in. He's getting a little criticism back in Seattle because they had such high expectations. But Bill Parcells knew that the Seattle Seahawks were a good enough football team to come in here and give them everything they wanted at home. He told us yesterday, if we don't win this ball game, he wasn't really sure how this team was going to do against the 3 remaining teams, all division teams, all good ones.
Well, Seahawks, a dome football team, late in the season, an inexperienced quarterback, and had the weather been cold today, and they do get the first down on the run by Waters. Had the weather been cold today, and it's about 65 degrees, so that's not a factor, this would have been even more difficult for Seattle. But for whatever reason, dome teams outside in cold weather just don't fare that well.
Well, even just on the road, you know, and I'm amazed by that. It's all psychological because the field is the same dimensions. The referees call them the same way. You got 11 on each side. The only difference, of course, is the crowd noise, and you can block that out. It's all psychological when you go on the road.
Outside the 43, it is a first down. Kitna winds up again, looking for Galloway. He's beaten one again, and there he goes! Can you believe it? 57 yards on this touchdown pass.
John Kitna and Joey Galloway have quieted this crowd down. Kitna making the long run down to celebrate. Just one-on-one again, almost an instant replay. A little jostling going on right there. In fact, Aaron Glenn wanted to know if he was interfered with, trying to keep up with Joey Galloway. But in a foot race, as fast as Aaron Glenn is, he's not as fast as Joey Galloway. And if they leave one-on-one situations out there, you're going to see John Kitna going to him again this afternoon.
And that's a Pro Bowler he's beating, too, Glenn.
2 good football players, but one's just a step faster than the other one, and the ball is being thrown out in front.
Peterson with the extra point. We've had 3 touchdown passes in this game. Testaverde gave the Jets an early 7-0 lead, but 2 long ones by Kitna. The last one, 57 yards to Galloway. 14-7 Seattle. With Sam White, Kevin Harlan, Joey Galloway over 125 yards receiving on 2 receptions today and 2 long touchdowns. And John Kitna, after fumbling the exchange from center on the first possession, has come back. You're right, he does not look like a young quarterback making just his 3rd career start today.
They're going to have to defense him and Joey Galloway. This is where games are won and lost. It's adjustments during the game. Bill Belichick, on the defensive coordinator of the New York Jets, now is going to have to give Aaron Glenn a little help over there because the matchup is coming again with Joey Galloway.
And his confidence may be shot after getting torched twice. From the 5, this is Glenn. Finds the seam, and Willie Williams just got a hand on him and tripped him up at about the 30-yard line. A return of 24 yards by Glenn. 2.5 to play here in the first quarter. There's Joey Galloway again. And player is down for Seattle.
It looked like
Williams,
James McKnight and Willie Williams both injured. This is Willie Williams. He's hurt a little bit more. You know, when you're in that open field and you are reaching out trying to make a hit, that's where a lot of injuries happen with the shoulder blade. Looks like, though, he gets hit by his own man. Look right here. Bang, right there. 2 guys going after the tackle. That's McKnight and Williams. Here it is again from another angle. There's Willie Williams. Here comes McKnight. And they just all over each other.
And they need McKnight. He has been great. And they need Williams. He's a starting corner. Well, tonight on CBS, critics are calling The Christmas Wish a contemporary twist on It's a Wonderful Life. Debbie Reynolds and Neil Patrick Harris star in the CBS Sunday night movie, The Christmas Wish. It's all tonight, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, here on CBS.
'Tis the season, Kevin.
It is.
Those are fun movies.
Great time of year. Great time, too, if you're an NFL fan, with the playoff picture coming into form and focus from the 30-yard line. 1st and 10. Hand off to Curtis Martin, who's put together 3 consecutive 100-yard games. And he's brought down right there by Anthony Simmons, their 1st-round pick out of Clemson. Linebacker starting today. They have all kinds of injuries, and that linebacking core does Seattle.
2 young linebackers. You know, when you've got 2 rookies in there, all the calls that have to be made, there's 2 chances for mistakes to be made. These guys have played. It's not like they haven't been in ball games, but starting together in a pressure game like this against a quality football team, quality offensive football team with all the weapons the New York Jets present.
Second down 9, shy of the 32. A pulling block by Dwyer, trying to pry open some room for Martin. Not much over there. Seattle's defense is enthused. Deshaun Miles and Phillip Daniels combined on the stop. It's a meager gain of 2.
Vinny Testaverde ranked right behind Randall Cunningham with a 104. Now, let me just tell you, anytime you're up around 100, you've got a chance to lead the league year in and year out in the rankings.
Last week, his rating for the single game, 16-21 with a couple touchdowns, was 147. The highest possible rating you can have is 158.7. 3rd down and 7 from the 33. Testaverde flushed from the pocket, chased by Adams, dumps it off to Byers, and he lunges at the last second and may have picked up the 1st down. It's a gain of 8. He's to the 41-yard line, and I think he's got it by about the length of the football.
Bill Parcells told us yesterday when Vinny first came here, he sat him down. He said, look, here are the things that I see as studying you. You force the ball too much, and you make mistakes when you're on the move. Your judgment is sometimes you snap throw. In training camp, I want you to work on going to alternate receivers, throw that ball to somebody else, don't force it, and work on your throws on the move. That's the product of a lot of hard work in training camp.
New York area native, grew up in Elmont, New York. Did Testaverde. His family and friends are still there. From the 41, it is a 1st down. Play action to Martin again. Little decoy. Here comes Adams, and the pass thrown up the middle and incomplete. Man, when you see Sam Adams at 320 pounds barreling down on your brother, you get rid of the football, and that's exactly what Vinny did.
Well, I tell you what, Sam Adams is, look at him. I'm not sure if this is an example of you can eat yourself right out of the league if you're not careful.
Things in when he goes in for the wing.
He can do more than just rush. So watch that. He blocks the ball, intercepts it, and then watch this run. Put him in there on the goal line. Oh, yeah. Do a little dance at the end, too.
If he gets on a talking scale, it says come back when you're alone.
He is a good athlete.
2nd down and 10. Martin again, and the rookie Miles, and a flag is thrown. Deshaun Miles makes the tackle. No gain on the play. In fact, the loss of perhaps a yard.
Now, that's 3 times that they've given the ball to Martin without much gain, but they're setting up other things. Those aren't throwaway plays.
Yeah, one play usually sets up the next, and in fact, 2-3 down the road.
That's what Chad Brown was talking about in this circular offense. The running play sets up the play action. As soon as you start playing those, they drop back and throw the ball deep on you.
Holding offense number 76. 10 yards. It remains 2nd down.
That is the 4th penalty. That one's on Jumbo Elliott. That is the 4th penalty on the Jets, and again, the 3rd least penalized coming into today.
They're going to get a lecture. I'm telling you, they keep this up. They're going to get a lecture from that man right there.
And it's not going to be fun to listen to.
No, I tell you what, when I see Bill Parcells, his head goes down like that a little bit, he's thinking. He's not down. The wheels are turning. He's thinking about what he's going to say to a player coming off the field. He's thinking about the next call, anticipating everything that's going to happen. See that head? That's the thought process in work.
An electrifying first quarter 70-yard and 57-yard touchdown passes to Joey Galloway. It's 14-7 Seattle. We'll return to Giant Stadium after this word as you're watching the NFL on CBS. With Sam White, Kevin Harlan, the secondary's got a lot to talk about. They've been burned twice for long touchdowns. We begin the second quarter with the Jets facing 2nd down and 20 on the 31-yard line. Corbett is on the move. Testaverde setting up the screen. It's off to Corbett, blocked by Mawai, and Corbett can get only as far as the 32. That means they got a bunch to go.
Jets trying to empty that backfield, fake the screen to the left. Now watch, he's going to fake the screen going this way. There's the pump, the reverse pivot back to Wayne Corbett, a wide receiver. Most screens go to running backs. Here's the key to all of this, though. All the way downfield that time. The center, Kevin Maui, right down there blocking. When you can get your offensive linemen to hustle downfield on a warm afternoon, that's when you're going to win football games.
There's Mawai, who wanted to resign with Seattle, but he was kind of amused at their offense. 3rd and 18, flags are down, they blow it dead. Seattle, in the view of Mawai, didn't cough up enough money, but the Jets did, and he may be, in fact, he is the highest paid center in the NFL, and he probably is one of the top 2 or 3 in the league right now. Dermontti Dawson probably would be in that category, the Steeler All-Pro center.
Kevin's having a Pro Bowl year, though. He's playing well. Both their tackles are playing well.
Which is the strength. The tackles and the center, truly the strength of that line.
This one's going to go against Seattle. If it's holding, it's a 1st down.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense number 98. 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
They just jumped because they anticipated the pass. It's a perfect time for a quarterback to use that hard count. Go on 3 and on 2. You go hut, hut. You throw that up an octave. The voice pulls the defense because they know it's a pass. It's 2nd to 3rd down and long. They're just trying to get the jump on the pass rush.
With the penalty, 3rd down, 13 from the 38. They may have been off again. Brown again is flagged, and again they blow it dead.
Well, when they stop it like that without contact, usually it goes against the offense. Let's see what they rule.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 19. 5 yards, it remains 3rd down.
Keyshawn Johnson, that is the 5th Jets penalty today.
And Keyshawn did this last week in the ball game. He's lined up as a wide receiver. You're supposed to, as a wide receiver, look down. Don't listen for the snap count. You can glance down and see the ball move, and you go on it. Wide receivers should not make that mistake. That's easy to say. You shouldn't do something wrong, right? That's a great coaching point. But it is the job of the receiver to look down and watch the ball move. He's not supposed to listen to the snap count. Number one, many times you can't hear. You're far away.
Concentration, though, too.
Concentration, but this team doesn't make many mistakes. This is uncharacteristic today.
3rd and 18. Testaverde outside again. He goes to Keith Byers, who loses the ball. They mark him down at the 37-yard line, although the ball was coughed up. It's marked down. Willie Williams was there with the tackle. They've gone to Byers a lot today.
They have. Vinny looked like got a finger maybe in the eye. Look, he's going to take a knee. Now watch here. It's full drop. He goes to lay the ball to the right side. Just as he lets the ball go, here comes the rush. Hands inadvertently. Looked like it was Sam Adams. Those face masks, there are no shields now. Those are just bars. They usually have the double bar. If anywhere's the double bar, double across and double up and down. But there obviously is nothing to impair the vision as you look downfield, therefore nothing to stop a finger from coming in there.
And you've got to have special clearance through the NFL office to have the shield as you take a look at Glenn Foley. And, of course, it was Foley's faltering in St. Louis when they lost to the Rams on the road, 30-10, which led to Testaverde coming back in and reclaiming a position on the quarterback position. And then from that point on, he has started every game. He's gone 8-1 as a starter. You can see he is still shaking off the effects of the Sam Adams finger in his eye.
Well, the only way they'll take him out is if his peripheral vision is destroyed or if his depth perception is destroyed. If he's got a sore eye, he'll play.
Great kick. And a flag is down back at the 27-yard line. John Kidd was whacked. It's a 49-yard punt. Robert Wilson came tumbling into Kidd, and it's going to be against Seattle.
And let's see if it's enough or a first down or if it's just running into the kicker or roughing the kicker. Have to wait on the call. Ball is clean away. If you touch that ball, you can hit the kicker, but if you don't touch it, nobody touched it.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, number 83 defense, 15 yards, automatic, first down.
See, there are two calls there. Running into the kicker, not as serious a penalty, not an automatic first down, and roughing the kicker, which is an automatic first down. And these are the kind of things when you're a team that has to win a ball game on the road, you can't afford. You stop them, you've held them, you've made them punt, and then you give them the ball back.
And that is a good sign if you're a Jets fan. Testaverde is back in the game.
I didn't think that he would be out very long. This is a tougher football player than, frankly, his reputation has given him over the years.
So the drive continues. This will be the 7th play of the drive. Jets have it at the Seahawk 48, trailing by 7. Play action by Testaverde. Swings it outside. Pass caught by Keyshawn Johnson, who loses a helmet in the process. Whacked so hard by Chad Brown that he lost his hat. And when you lose your hat, you're in trouble. 8-9 on the play.
This is just a hitch pattern. Bang. That's actually Sean Springs that gives him the first hit, and then Chad Brown right there with him holds onto the football. That's the more precious thing. He used to tell him that's just like your little baby right there. Do not drop that football, no matter how many other parts of your body come flying loose.
He yanked his apron.
That's what they did.
2nd down and 2, just inside the 40-yard line. Byers is on the move. Hand off to Martin. Brady is in the middle block. So is O'Dwyer, and he'll be again close to a first down. Depending on the mark, we are early in the second quarter with Sam White, Kevin Harlan. A spectacular day for football here in the Meadowlands. The first place Jets and playoff hopeful Seattle.
Good time for Curtis Martin to get the ball. 2nd down and about 2. Good solid yardage. Most of the time he gets the ball, but you know that you're going to get close to that first down. Leave yourself very little if you don't get the first down right then. I think they got it. What do you think?
I think they've got it too. The one thing about the Jets is they truly have a plan. There was a great story in the New York Post earlier this week by Steve Serby detailing the free agent acquisitions that Bill Parcells, the general manager, has made for the Bill Parcells coaching position. And one of the great pickups, of course, not only Testaverde, but also Curtis Martin. They gave a 3rd-round pick. They paid him $36 million, but he gives him a running play.
I tell you, league-wide, though, teams turn over between 1/4 and 1/3 of their team every year. So every team is always looking for new talent.
Just down. Look at the time for Testaverde across the middle. He throws to the aforementioned Martin, who makes his 34th reception of the season. It's a gain of 3 on first down. And coming up on the NASDAQ Amex halftime report, Jim Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and Michael Lombardi have all the scores and highlights. Plus a preview of the Denver Bronco Kansas City Chief game with Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms, all coming up on the NASDAQ Amex halftime report. That should be a dandy at Mile High, in particular, considering what happened on that Monday night game in Kansas City a couple weeks ago.
Well, the pressure mounts every week that they stay undefeated. I think they're going to do it.
2nd down, 6. Testaverde spinning in the backfield, buying time, and throws it away. Brady was covered, Martin was covered, and he had Michael Sinclair breathing down his back.
It's tough to pump, pull that ball back, throw it away. That's a veteran quarterback at work. In the AFC East, the New York Jets, everything's in their hands. They play 3 division opponents after this ball game. And, of course, they tied with Miami going into this game today. Buffalo and Cincinnati. Vinny Testaverde, I mentioned it just a moment ago. They emptied the backfield this time. This one looks like a pass or a quarterback draw. But when you go to pump in this coverage and you pull it back, tough to do as a quarterback.
So he's deployed 5 receivers. It goes to Leon Johnson, who breaks the tackle. He goes one-on-one with Bellamy and Williams, and he is knocked out of bounds at the 3. It's a gain of 30. Everyone worried about Johnson and Corbett and Brady and Martin, but they forgot about reserve running back Leon Johnson.
And Kerry Joseph, a safety, has to go out and cover Leon Johnson out wide. Leon Johnson is split out like a wide receiver is normally split out. It destroys your coverages if you go man-to-man. If you go in zone, everybody just covers their zone. But Seattle is in a man-to-man coverage, therefore they had to take a safety one-on-one. And Leon Johnson, once he catches the ball, is as good as a receiver after the catch.
He may be the most versatile player on the team.
Well, he's the return guy for him as well as a running back and a wide receiver in that case.
From the 3, it's first down and 10. Fake handoff, rolling is Testaverde from the goal line, and it's into the end zone and high. Incomplete on the first and goal pass over the head of Kyle Brady, the tight end.
That time, Vinny Testaverde just wanted to roll to the right, very reminiscent of the catch. San Francisco against Dallas back in 1981. Watch him. He's going to go to the right, and he's going to keep the ball alive as long as he can. See him just looking. The last minute, throw it high and away. If it's incomplete, or if it's over the receiver's head, Brady that time, it's incomplete. There's no chance of an interception.
Second down goal from the 3 and the 12th play of the drive. Remember, kept alive by a Seattle penalty on the punt by the Jets. To the end zone for Johnson. The catch is made, but out of bounds, incomplete. He leapt high. He was battling Willie Williams, but he could not get both feet in bounds. Incomplete pass.
That's just the kind of throw to Keyshawn Johnson. He had a little bit of a hamstring. See, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. No question about it. Here he goes up. 1 foot's in, 1 foot out. Good call by the officials. And you had 2 officials looking down the line. Both of them looked at each other and said, I agree with what you're about to do, and that is wave this one off. Nice throw. But he did not miss a day of practice. Bill Parcells is one of the toughest guys that he's coached. Got a little bit of a hamstring. He was out there working early before this game.
Ray Lucas is in as the quarterback, the shotgun formation. Lucas with the sprint, Mawaya block, Sabinia block, and Lucas is down to about the 2. Michael Sinclair made the tackle. So it's 4th and goal, and Parcells with a little bit of change-up in his delivery. Can't get it in with Lucas running the option.
Now Lucas is a wide receiver running back. This is a run all the way. See him put the ball under his arm from the very beginning. Had blockers out in front. Vinny Testaverde's a wide receiver out blocking the wide receiver. I'm happy for you, Vinny. That's Fred Thomas, and he's occupying him anyway.
Yes. So a field goal try from John Hall, who is tied for the most misses of any field goal kicker in the NFL. The hold by Kidd, it's up and in. But I mentioned Kidd holding because since Kidd has jumped on board, Hall has gone 11 of 13 in field goals. The Jets come closer to Seattle. Two long touchdown passes by John Kitna, a short touchdown pass by Testaverde, and a 20-yard field goal moments ago. But a real victory for the Seattle defense as Parcells and the Jets had it first and goal at the 3.
With just one more ingredient in the way the Seahawks are playing. They're putting it all together. The defense holding them to 3 points, keeping the lead for John Kitna, who has responded every time the Jets have scored. John Kitna's come back, and he's hit Joey Galloway for touchdowns.
Here's Hall with the boot in the end zone. Broussard will bring it out 3 yards deep. A block by Joseph, and Broussard is up to the 26-yard line. He is the 4th rated NFL kickoff return man. Tackle made by Hayes. Timeout in New York, 14-10 Seattle.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Ford F-Series. The best-selling trucks are built Ford time. The NASDAQ MX Market Group, the market of markets. And by Citizens. Today more than ever, Citizens are the world's held time.
Giants Stadium, the Meadowlands, 14-10. Seattle on 2 long touchdown passes, one of 70 yards, one of 57 yards, both to Joey Galloway. On the 26-yard line, here comes John Kitna. First down and 10. Ricky Waters with a big hole and a chugging run up to the 37-yard line. Tackled by Jerome Henderson. A gain of 12 on first down by Waters.
Good, solid first down run. Both these teams have good first down running games. Ricky Waters is one of those guys that give me the ball kind of guys, like Keyshawn Johnson is for the Jets. But as you can see, the offensive line, a solid offensive line for the Seattle Seahawks, gives him those first 3 or 4 yards.
First and 10, play action, going deep. Kitna again, Galloway. Glenn working on it. It's intercepted by Glenn. Finally, he gets revenge after getting torched twice. It's the third turnover for Seattle. And at the 6-yard line, they'll take over as Glenn gets a career-high 6th interception.
And he's going to go to the post. Joey Galloway saying, throw it out in front, and he doesn't quite get it enough.
Glenn is injured. Injury timeout. Looks like the Jets have just lost their Pro Bowl cornerback, Aaron Glenn.
The healthiest team in the NFL coming into this game had no one on the injury report list. Now watch Aaron Glenn going up. Now watch his right foot just as he comes down. There's the leap with the left. Watch his right foot come down. Left foot, excuse me, right there. I'm sorry, here it is right here. That's his right foot. Almost the opposite of a hyperextension that time. His foot just came down full weight coming on it. Ray Mickens will replace him. Otis Smith on the other side. Normally they kind of give Otis Smith a little bit of help and leave Aaron Glenn one-on-one. Well, Aaron Glenn's been beaten twice already today, and now his backup is in, Ray Mickens.
Remember, it was about this time last year they lost both Elliott and the now retired David Williams to injuries. On first down with their worst beginning field position, it's a pass outside, lassoed by Keyshawn Johnson. Gain of 7 on first down, a low pass, but he kept it away from the secondary coverage.
Well, they're just working a little bit. This is Sean Springs, who's having a Pro Bowl year himself, but everything is happening underneath him. You see they're afraid of the speed and the deep throws with Keyshawn Johnson. You don't want to get into a jump ball with Keyshawn because he usually comes out the winner.
Johnson coming into today had put together the best 3-game span in his career. He's been playing magnificent football. Second down and 4. Jets from the 14.
Lots of formations for the Jets.
And the handoff to Martin. Not much up the middle with the gain of about a yard. Trying to carve it out against that big, strong tackle tandem for Seattle. 8 carries, 20 yards today for Martin. Let's take a look at the CBS Sportsline question of the week. Who is the most feared pass rusher in the game today? Kevin Green, Bruce Smith, or Reggie White?
Well, the previous 2 weeks, I have hit it on the money. I'm going to go right there myself. This is just Sam White's voting with Reggie White. Although I will take any of those guys if I'm coaching. I want them all on my side.
Third down and 3. Play action again by Testaverde with all kinds of time. Dumps it off underneath. Caught by Curtis Martin. Does get the first down. Lunging to the 23-yard line on a gain of 8. And the tackle made by Simmons. By the way, if you want to participate in the CBS Sportsline question of the week, log on to vote at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online at keyword CBS Sportsline.
Here's a case of Vinny Testaverde doing what Bill Parcells asked him to do, and that is lay the ball off short. Don't force it down the field if you don't have something down there. Vinny is really going through his progressions. The number 1 guy is not there. Look for number 2 and then number 3.
And the former Heisman Trophy winner at Miami with the first and 10 to the 23 underneath again to Crabette, who is drilled by Willie Williams. What a whack. And a gain on the play of perhaps 2 yards. Williams, a hard-hitting corner, comes from the Pittsburgh Steelers as he unleashes here on Crabette. Give a listen. You can feel that one up here.
Just a quick throw to Wayne Crabette. But Vinny Testaverde's doing what was asked of him. He's completed 8 passes to his running back so far, and then the quick throws outside, that time to Wayne Crabette.
Second and 8 from the 25-yard line for Testaverde. Throws into the leap of Cortez Kennedy. It's incomplete. He had Crabette in the numbers, and he had Dietrich Ward, another wide receiver, the 3rd wide receiver on the outside.
Actually, the first one that I think he's forced in there a little bit. There was double coverage. Wayne Crabette looked like when he came out of the break, wasn't ready to slide back to the outside. The ball was thrown to the outside, and it had to be thrown in a hurry because he had pressure.
Jets come in with a share of first place in the AFC East with Miami. At home, they have won 5 consecutive games. They've been brilliant here in the Meadowlands.
They're a good football team. Denver, I think, is the best in the AFC, but right behind them is a group of teams, included in that group, the New York Jets.
The drop play handoff, a great block by Byers, but doesn't pry open enough room. And the former college quarterback, Kerry Joseph, makes the tackle and stops the first down bid by Parcells Jets, and they got a punt again.
Last time they punted, John Kidd was roughed, continued the drive, resulting in a field goal for New York. Seattle's defense is doing a good job.
They are indeed. And they're not talked about much coming in, so the Jets can't cash in on the interception by Glenn. Here's the punt by Kidd, 21-yard line retrieval by Galloway. And he's up the sideline and near the 32-yard line, a return of 12 yards. Not a good sign as Aaron Glenn is wheeled off the floor of the Meadowlands.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Gateway. Let's talk about your Gateway. And by Taco Bell.
Kevin Harlan, Sam White share Giants Stadium. Ray Mickens now takes the place of the injured Aaron Glenn, who has just been carted into the Jets locker room. They are taking x-rays, a sprained right ankle, the initial diagnosis on Aaron Glenn. That is a big loss in the secondary for the Jets.
Well, it complicates their coverage calls because they were going to leave Aaron Glenn one-on-one and help Otis Smith a little bit, something that Joey Galloway was hoping for. Here the quarterback comparison.
Handoff on 1st and 10 goes to Ricky Waters and Victor Green there to stop him. Rick Weil, kind of a journeyman defensive lineman, also with the stop and a gain of about a yard. As scores from New York come in front of you. You can see New England on top of Pitt, where the Steelers are about as up and down a team as you're going to find in the NFL this year.
They're hard to predict. I tell you, they've got good players and they got a terrific coach and a lot of heritage, but
Look at the Colts on top of Atlanta in Atlanta. Second down and 11. Play action by Kitton. Here comes Cass Kitton. There goes the pass. He completes it to Pritchard, covered by Otis Smith, and a gain of 8. I don't know how Kitton got that ball away. This kid stands in the pocket as well as any young quarterback in the NFL.
There's Cascade coming from the outside. Why? He's got to throw into the press. He can sense that. Now, he's not looking at it, but let me tell you, as a quarterback, you can feel it. You can hear it. Sometimes you can actually smell it coming at you. It's so close. Cascade full speed on the blitz. A linebacker should be picked up generally by a running back. That time it was not.
Kitton is 7 of 9. The pitch out to Waters on 3rd down. Looks like he's short by a half yard.
You know, the New York Jets give Seattle and Dennis Erickson a lot of problems defensively because they use a lot of personnel combinations. They'll have 3 linebackers, 4 linebackers, 2 linebackers. Now they've lost, of course, Aaron Glenn as a defensive back, so they're not going to use those 3 defensive backs as much as they might have this against Seattle this week, the rest of the game anyway. But when you've got a lot of different personnel, it's hard to identify who's rushing and who's not, and therefore who's going to block those rushers.
And I can only imagine for a young quarterback how complex that's got to be to deal with in such a short amount of time. And you can see they're short by about 2 football length, and so it looks like they're going to punt. Probably the wise thing to do.
Well, it is. And, you know, in predicting the outcome of a ball game, you look at matchups. And when you get a young quarterback against a complex defense, the advantage goes big time to the defense. And you get a young quarterback against a team that's maybe better than they are, but he knows what's coming, at least he has a chance to react.
First punt today by Seattle. Deep back Leon Johnson. Jeff Fiegels was signed as a free agent. Comes from Arizona. And he's coming off the best game in about a month. You see, he's at punting the football. More of a finesse type punt. This was high and hanging, and Johnson gets a great block on the play and takes it from the 11 up to the 17. A 5-yard return on the 44-yard punt by Jeff Fiegels. Leon Johnson, the versatile one.
Remember this? Back in 1969, Joe Namath in the Super Bowl. Classic throwing motion.
Don Maynard.
Don Maynard. One of the few times he didn't wear Texas boots.
There's Keith Byers.
He's still around.
Emerson Boozer, number 41 then. Keith Byers now, and there you see the famed number 12 in the Namath on the back, a retired number here with the Jets. 1st and 10 for Vinny Testaverde. Winding up and throws. He's got his tight end Kyle Brady. Fumbles the ball. Seattle has retrieved it. And it's picked up by Chad Brown. It's the 2nd Jets turnover today. And it's down at the 48. Brady, who's having a breakthrough season, disappoints Bill Parcells with the turnover. The Jets came into today +3 and perhaps is the hottest team in the AFC.
Right here. There's Chad Brown. He told us last night, he said, you know, I do everything. I'm all over the field. And this guy backs it up. Not only does he rush the quarterback on occasion, he's back deep center field in coverage. A beautiful throw by Testaverde and a catch, but on contact, the ball came loose. I used to tell the guys, as soon as you catch the ball in the middle of the field, hug it, just like you would, you're hugging your child. Do not let that ball go. You're going to get hit quick in the middle.
On the 48, 1st and 10, hitting a quick throw. Nice leaping catch made by Pritchard. He's down to the 42. I think we said Emerson Boozer. Of course, we're talking about Matt Snell, number 41, who was with Maynard back in that miraculous season in the late 60s. Emerson Boozer was around at the same time. This is a team which has great history, the Jets.
I remember when I was in college, I got a brochure from the Jets that had Matt Snell's picture on the front of it. I thought I was in big time. I was back at Furman University, and I got something from the New York Jets.
2nd and 4, handoff to Waters. And he's down to the 39. Of course, that team was coached by Weeb Eubank, the late Weeb Eubank.
One of the most respected guys in the history of the game. One of the most loved guys in the history of the game. Not just by his players, but just everybody that was around him.
Bill Parcells came here. He liked what that uniform looked like back then. They had gone away from that look in the 80s and early 90s, and they changed here just to put some of the this season. 3rd and a long run. It's a handoff going to Waters, who tried to climb his way inside the 39, had to get to the 38, and again appears to be shy. Anthony Pleasant was in the bottom of that pile. Brian Cox is still in there, number 51, John away at Waters.
I think he's short on this one. Now, Dennis Erickson's got to decide what to do. I would, if he asked my advice, I'd say pin these guys back. He's not taking my advice. He's putting 2 tight ends in, and here goes a 4th down and less than 1. Seattle is 0-3 on 3rd down. And 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 1. Now they try it on 4th down.
4th down inside the 39. The pitch out to Waters. The punt back corner. He's got it. And here he goes. He'll be gone for the touchdown. Ricky Waters. A 39-yard touchdown run, a season long.
Big gamble for Dennis Erickson. And it paid off. That's the 3rd big play touchdown for Seattle today. Breaks tackles right there. Nothing but a clean break. Victor Green, who's the leading tackler on the New York Jets team, and Ricky Waters runs right through the arm tackle. Little pitch to the left. Nothing shortened up the middle. Took the angle off tackle. Ricky Waters, one of the best. Arguably, you'd have him in the backfield on any team in the National Football League.
Extra point by Peterson is good. Go back to last week when Waters did not get the ball on a 3rd and 1, then a 4th and short. He complained vehemently. This time they pitch it to him and he answers with a 39-yard touchdown run.
To go, the Jets have 5 defensive linemen down. Now watch the left tackle and the left guard. This left tackle is Jones, Walter Jones, and Pete Kendall at left guard. There's the scrape. There's the key block right there. Now it's arm tackles from Victor Green and Ricky Waters. A gamble, Kendall. Kevin, what's your name? What's your name? Kevin?
Call me Kevin if you wish.
Pete Kendall's block, I'm thinking about it. But a gamble on 4th down pays off. There's 3 big plays for Seattle.
Kickoff by Peterson with Glenn out. They put back Ward, and it's Leon Johnson that returns this one. And he's up to the 23. So with the Glenn injury, and he is still in the locker room getting the ankle x-rayed, they've got to switch up their kickoff return as well. Well, if you're tired of laughing at your own family, and a Seahawk is shaken up at the 22. Max Strong, the fullback.
Special teams player. The defense now of Seattle back in their court again. They've done a terrific job all day long. When the big plays have come, they've knocked the ball loose. Last time from Kyle Brady down the middle on a good pass from Vinny Testaverde. And then the Seattle Seahawks on the offensive side of the ball, they've just had those 3 big plays. 2 plays starting with a young quarterback throwing the ball down to Joey Galloway, who's one-on-one with Aaron Glenn. 70, 57, and 39 yards for their 3 touchdowns.
Galloway with the long touchdown receptions. Ricky Waters with the long touchdown run. They've spent a lot of money to reconstruct this Seattle team. Over the years, last 2 years in particular, $74 million.
Okay. And I will tell you this, they've got a lot of things in place. They do. This is one of the teams that's
Seattle.
One of the teams that's right on the edge of being a big-time winner. They're still in the hunt this year.
Injury timeout charged to Seattle. Here's Testaverde on 1st and 10. Throwing to Prevent, who makes the grab at the 31. Well, we're under 2 minutes to play. And they had called an injury timeout, and it was charged against Seattle. Anything under 2 minutes is charged to the team who has the injury. But they didn't take the timeout, and so here we go.
Well, we got the signal for the timeout from Phil Luckett. All he was doing was indicating that they were charged for a timeout, but it looked like they were calling timeout, and the timeout was just starting. When it went in effect, it was over.
2nd down and 3 from the 31. This is Keyshawn Johnson. Weaving up the middle with the 1st down, gain of 19 for number 19 up to midfield.
Keyshawn Johnson this time in the slot. He's just going to be a quick lookie inside. The quarterback has the option to throw it quick if he's there. If not, he goes through another progression.
1st and 10 throw. This one is caught at the 44-yard line by rarely used Alex Van Dyke, just his 2nd reception of the year. He was taken in the same draft with Johnson. He's the all-time NCAA receiving record holder.
And the Jets take a timeout after that completion.
This is a timeout. Charge to the Jets. NASDAQ Amex halftime. Jim Nance and the crew with all kinds of information, scores and highlights, plus a report from Denver on the Chiefs and Broncos game later today. 2nd down 4. Inside the Seahawks 44, a pass underneath caught by Dedrick Ward. In his ever-expanding role as the 3rd wide receiver, picks up 9, another Jets 1st down.
They're emptying the backfield. Seattle Seahawks are bringing a lot of people. 1-on-1 on the outside. Vinny's finding the matchup.
He's gone to 8 different receivers. This one outside on 1st and 10. That pass is caught this time by Alex Van Dyke. His 2nd catch of the game, his 3rd of the year, his 2nd on this drive. And he picks up about 6, so we'll call it 2nd down and 4 from the 29-yard line.
Closing in on 40 seconds.
2 timeouts remaining for the Jets. Leon Johnson, a mammoth hole, and he takes it down to the Seattle 20. He gets the 1st down.
Vinny Testaverde immediately turns to the referee, calls timeout with 34 seconds left. Another little sign of a veteran football player at work. He didn't go chase the ball and try to find somebody to call time. He just turns calmly to the referee, who's standing right beside him, and calls timeout.
Jets have 1 timeout remaining.
John Hall ready to come in if they need him for a field goal. They're still thinking, though, maybe extra point here. Seattle making a couple of changes in their defensive line, giving a little rest. With Dan Saliamua out, it hurts their rotation. They like to have a lot of substituting in that defensive line because they got so many big guys, Cortez Kennedy and Sam Adams, and they need the rest. They need to take a blow.
There's the East, where the Jets in Miami lead by a single game over both New England and Buffalo. To share the strength of the division, the Colts right now are whipping Atlanta down in Atlanta. Atlanta leads the NFC West.
Every game in December is so much more important.
1st down and 10, 7th play of the Jets drive. Good block by the rookie Fabini. Buying time for Testaverde, who throws a pass, and it's caught at the 6-yard line by Wayne Trebek. A gain of 14 yards. 1st and goal, Jets. They've got 1 timeout remaining. The clock is down to 19 seconds. Testaverde will try to get at least this one into the end zone. Lofting it for Johnson. The defender fell, but he again catches it out of bounds. Terry McDaniel is covering Johnson. Little bit too much lead time on the pass from Testaverde.
Terry McDaniel at 5'10", going up against Keyshawn Johnson. Good call here because this is a time when you might see the ball just spike, where they just try to kill the clock, and sometimes the defense will go to sleep. This time the defense doesn't go to sleep, they just fall down. But the ball is thrown just out of bounds.
And Johnson missed on a similar one earlier in the game.
Very close. The ball's got to be thrown right along that sideline, and the job, of course, for the receivers to try to stay in bounds, but that ball just took him out.
Seattle utilizes their final timeout of the first half. They lead at 21-10 on 2 long touchdown passes and a 39-yard touchdown run by Ricky Waters. I'd have to say this is pretty much a surprise in the NFL here at Giant Stadium this afternoon. Monday on CBS, Raymond's brother just moved into...
I have no comment on that except I'm going to be watching.
You're always watching.
I am. I tell you, there's a lot of good 30 minutes of laughter on CBS.
Congratulations to the CBS Entertainment Division winning the November sweeps.
I think they must have had a little box in my office, my home there. That's where I'm tuned in. 6-yard line. 1 timeout left for the Jets.
Jets took over with 1:56 to play. It's 13 seconds now. Second and goal from the 3. 9th play of the drive. Testaverde looking one way. Looking the other way. Down the middle he goes. Caught by Johnson. Out of bounds he was. Knocked away. Incomplete. He was whacked by Sean Springs, a Pro Bowler in the making for the Seattle secondary.
Now it's 3rd down. You're on the 6 with 6 seconds left. There is time to get another playoff, but it has to be a quick throw. You want to leave if it's incomplete. You want to leave yourself a chance to kick the field goal. Bill Parcells is trying to decide if he takes that chance. If there's any delay in the throw, Vinny Testaverde cannot do what he did on the last play. Look for the second, third guy.
For some reason, I like either Corbett or Byers in a situation like this. They seem to be so timely with their receptions.
This will be a quick throw.
3rd and goal from the 6.
No, they forced him out.
They're looking for Byers, and it's incomplete. There's a flag thrown at the 1-yard line. Byers was the intended recipient. The penalty flag is against Seattle. Covering was Chad Brown, 94 on Byers.
Pass interference, defense, number 94. That's an automatic first down.
That'll give them time to kick the field goal. The ball's on the 2-yard line. I mean, it didn't happen in the end zone. Chad Brown covered. Here's the coverage right out here. There's the bump. Brown just arrives a little bit early. He's claiming I'm looking for the ball.
So really almost inconsequential.
It was, because there's 1 second left anyway. They're not getting... Had the clock ended, though, they would have gotten one more play. But there's still 1 second left for the field goal.
John Hall has already hit one from 20 yards today, and he's good again from 20 yards. So 2 field goals for John Hall, who hit 2 field goals in the first half and 2 more in the second half last week for a total of 4. And a great performance against Carolina. And those 3 tacked on bring the Jets closer to Seattle. That's the end of the first half with the score: Seattle 21, the Jets 13. Stay tuned for all the scores and highlights on the NASDAQ Amex halftime report after this message and a word from your local CBS station.
Games are won and lost right now. You're into that locker room. The Seattle Seahawks, with John Kitna at quarterback, have not been fazed by all the different looks that the defense has given them from New York. So now they've got to go in there and decide the best things that happened in the first half. Try not to leave one-on-one situations with Joey Galloway in the second half in terms of the defense for the New York Jets. The touchdowns in the first half, though, all of them a lot of fun. After a turnover, New York marched down. Touchdown to Byers on the play action by Vinny Testaverde. And then the one-on-one situations. Aaron Glenn, Joey Galloway. Pure speed on the field. Nobody else out there. But the interesting part of this, from a standpoint of the Seattle Seahawks fans, beautiful throws by John Kitna, and he came right back on the next series. Almost an instant replay look of the same throw. A little bit of bumping there. Aaron Glenn wanted to know if he got interfered with, but truly it was just a good play down the chute. And then on short yardage, 4th down, the toss to Ricky Waters. Arm tackles down the field, good blocking up front, 39 yards and a touchdown. And the stats at halftime. New York Jets, of course, on the short end of that score, the most important stat. Everything else, pretty darn even. Absolutely square at 245 yards apiece.
So we kick off the second half, and picked up by Dedrick Ward inside the 10, replacing the injured Aaron Glenn. He's out to the 22-yard line. That's how we begin the second half.
And now we find out what those halftime talks meant to the players. Generally, the veteran teams in the second half, generally now, because Seattle certainly has their veterans out there, but the veteran teams react better coming out in the second half, the third quarter. Something I said to you before, Kevin, that the first drive on offense and defense generally indicates the tempo of the entire second half and ultimately the final score.
Well, let's see what the Jets have done from the 22-yard line. First and 10. Quick throw over the head of Corbett, and it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Sam Adams was coming up. He may have gotten a hand on it.
Seattle immediately brings the house. Quick throw because there was what's called a hot read. When you get one more block, one more guy coming. Chad Brown's the one more guy than they can afford to block. They don't have enough to do it because they had an empty backfield. The ball's got to go quick. Bill Parcells told us that today there would be either quick throws or maximum protection. I think we've seen more quick throws.
Second down, 10 from the 23.
Okay, it's over.
Curtis Martin for one. How much?
Just haven't gotten a lot. The defensive front four for Seattle has done a terrific job of holding the running game to a minimum. 10 running attempts, only 25 yards.
Michael Sinclair looks to be shaken up. That would be a blow. He is the #1 sack man in the AFC, #2 in the NFL coming into this afternoon. So it's 3rd and 9. The Jets trailing 21-13 from the 24. They bring the blitz, picked up well. Testaverde moves up in the pocket, has to get to the 33. And backpedaling his way, and he'll be close to a first down with the extra effort, tackled by Fred Thomas.
Well, that time Seattle with Michael Sinclair out, they brought Chad Brown. There he comes up to shoot. They have a 3-man look, but they bring really 4 rushers. Get enough pressure to force Vinny out of the pocket. And here's where the extra effort may get him the first down. See that back push, push, push? Maybe enough for the first down. Fred Thomas was on the other end, pushing the other way, of course. Vinny Testaverde, Chad Brown told us, been playing Vinny when Chad was at Pittsburgh, Vinny was at Cleveland and then Baltimore, that you just keep putting the pressure on him, hoping that he'll make a mistake. But Vinny's a different football player. He's got better tools around him, and it's showing up. He doesn't make those mistakes as much anymore. All quarterbacks are going to make some.
Matt Labounty is in for Sinclair. Labounty, former 49er and Green Bay Packer, left end. Daniels on the other side, and those 2 big tackles, Cortez Kennedy and Sam Adams. First down be for Testaverde. He throws a pass, intercepted on the play by Anthony Simmons. He gets by Mawai, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Even Testaverde couldn't stop him. A touchdown return of 36 yards.
And I just said, Chad Brown told us, we keep pressuring Vinny and make him make a mistake. And that time he did. It was an empty backfield. Nobody back there. You see there's nobody in the backfield but Vinny. He's got to throw the ball quick. The rush came from the right side. He threw back to the right. But Anthony Simmons, a rookie, playing in place of Darren Smith, who's got a hamstring, intercepts it. And this is the old Olay, as it'll be called in the film study. Doesn't want to take a chance. Actually, as a quarterback in that situation right there, don't run the risk.
Extra point by Peterson is in. Seattle has come in and shocked the first place Jets. 28-13 Seattle. For 21 points off 3 New York Jets turnovers today.
And the first interception in the last 110 pass attempts for Vinny Testaverde. He hasn't been throwing the interception.
Peterson's kickoff taken at the 11-yard line by Dedrick Ward. Finds a seam, gets the block from Holmberg, and he's up to the 35.
Let's see how the interception happened. The empty backfield. You're going to see a blitz here, But here's Simmons. He's going to fall right in here, and it's the old zone blitz or fire zone that's so popular. Here's Simmons. You see him coming. He's going to lay in the middle. The ball is thrown. Vinny Testaverde thinks it's an all-out pure blitz, meaning man-to-man coverage. But Anthony Simmons falls right underneath into the zone. Anthony Simmons runs a 4.45 40-yard dash. That's wide receiver speed.
It is. Now the Jets are in a pretty sizable hole, shy of the 35. And they blow this.
Timeout, Seattle. First charge timeout.
Seahawks take a timeout, much to the chagrin of Coach Dennis Harrison. Yet they lead it 28-13.
First down, 3 runs, 15 passes. The last one ended up in an interception. On the other side of the ball, the Seattle Seahawks, second most sacks in the NFL, but they have none today.
Injured players Williams and Strongs may return, both with injuries right now. From the 35, first and 10 for Testaverde. After the Seattle timeout, he dumps it across the middle where it's caught by running back Curtis Martin. Brought down by rookie Anthony Simmons. Gain of 10. Right now, let's go back to our CBS studios in New York and Jim Nance.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Now, the Colts were up 21-7 before the Falcons tied it by halftime. Here early in the third, Manning picked off on his first attempt of the second half by Buchanan. It set up a Chandler touchdown pass, and Manning has just been intercepted again, and Atlanta's deep. Let's go back to you.
On first and 10, Testaverde trying to lead Trebet down the side. Incomplete pass. Coverage by Fred Thomas.
Fred Thomas was one-on-one running down the middle, but he had help in the middle from the safety. Vinny Testaverde throws that pass often and well. Still plenty of time. The Jets have fallen way behind here, but there's no need to move into a hurry-up offense or a get back into the ball game quick. Plenty of time to mix the run and the pass. You see Bill Parcells. That sheet he's got there is just a sideline sheet. It lists all the runs, all the passes.
In different situations.
So he's got a list of plays for first and 10, another list for third and short, and so forth.
The numbers on Testaverde, second down and 10. Going underneath once again, the outlet caught by Martin, and he's near midfield, picking up 5. That'll set up third and 5. Chad Brown with the tackle, and again, something you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, and something Parcells told us yesterday, the one difference he sees in Vinny now as opposed to when he was with Baltimore and Cleveland and Tampa Bay, he can throw to those running backs. He's more comfortable doing it.
Well, he's worked on it. He's emphasized it. Anytime you keep working on something, emphasizing it, it shows up in the ballgame. And here they are, empty backfield. Last time they did this, interception for a touchdown.
He's thrown it 10 times to running backs. Third down and 5, and again he goes, this time to wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson. He gets a first down to the 30-yard line, a gain of 20. He beat free safety Darrell Williams.
This time Seattle only comes with 4. They've got the zone defense in the backfield. Vinny reads it correctly and throws it quick from the inside now. Ball's going to come right in here. See the zone, everybody running out. Now you got the safeties of the next people. Bellamy getting the first hit, I suppose.
Johnson has converted 16 consecutive third down receptions to first down this year.
Good target, Keyshawn Johnson.
Soule is in motion. Soule will get the pass, and it's low and incomplete at about the 29.
Sam Adams all in the face of Vinny Testaverde that time. And when he let the ball go, it was one of those dying throws. The ball didn't carry. I used to tell quarterbacks, when you throw the ball, throw it through the receiver. Don't throw it to the receiver. Because if it just gets there, it just arrives there, and he's running away, the ball will fall short. That time, the reason he threw it only to the receiver, short, Sam Adams all over Vinny Testaverde.
Second down and 10 from the 30.
Four-man rush again, and here comes the 5th and 6th.
Simmons blitzing. Here goes Testaverde. And incomplete. He had Ward and Trebet about 5 yards apart, both about the goal line. 3 Seattle defenders were there. Incomplete pass.
Looking at the wide receivers, Galloway and Keyshawn Johnson, both of them having good days. The thing about Galloway, of course, is his 2 receptions have gone for big gains, touchdowns, one-on-one situations, both of them.
Johnson in his 3rd year, Galloway in his 4th. Those Keyshawn has had a remarkable month of November.
Remember, he's playing with a little bit of a sore hamstring. Did not miss any practice, however.
They're down 10 from the 30-yard line. Here they come up the middle again. Dumps it off. Screen pass. A block. by Berger, and Martin is inside the 15-yard line. And he's got a first down. Gain of 16 on the play. Thomas and Springs make the tackle.
Oh, good call, Kevin. I'll tell you what, the rush is coming, so this time they say, all right, we'll let you go. And then we're going to throw the ball right in behind that rush with blockers out in front. Good call. You almost expect it when you start getting pressure on the quarterback, you're going to get a screen or a draw within the next few plays. It's just, you use it to slow down that rush, make them be a little bit more honest in their approach to the quarterback.
We don't know why Byers is not in. Gerald Soule remains in the game. First and 10 from the 20-yard line of Seattle. Play action again by Testaverde. Out to Soule it goes, and he tumbles to the 12 on his 8th reception of the season. He picks up 3 right there.
After the interception a moment ago for the touchdown by Anthony Simmons, the Seattle Seahawks in this drive have used the blitz only sparingly. They're staying back in the zone, kind of watching everything in front, anticipating the pass, of course. Jets are throwing the ball a lot with Vinny.
Soule becomes Testaverde's 9th different receiver today.
And they use their receivers all over the field. They got all kinds of formations. Once again, nobody in the backfield. All the receivers, running backs, tight ends, and wide receivers split wide.
Second down 8 from the 12. Outside it goes, looking for Brady. Incomplete. We have Brown on his back. Thomas at the side. Incomplete pass.
When you empty that backfield, you've only got 5 blockers. Those 5 offensive linemen. That's it. So if they bring 6, you've got to throw it quick to what's called a hot receiver. They're bringing 4. So you got 5 blockers blocking 4 rushers. That means there's 7 defenders out there covering 5 receivers. That's the mathematics of it.
Numbers don't add up.
No, well, the tough part is you got about 3 seconds to decide which one you're going to throw to and throw a strike.
It's tough.
That's why they paid that big money.
Third down and 8. 10th play of the drive from the 12. Short drop, quick throw, caught by Ward. He sneaks his way down to the 2. Testaverde was whacked, a gain of 9. First and goal, the Jets.
Now, the Jets are tough to defend because they do throw to so many people. You can't double up on any one guy. And the quarterback is doing a good job of finding the one-on-one matchups. You're not going to find people running wide open. That time it's Dedrick Ward with a one-on-one with a quick inside move. Short throw. Ball's not in the air very long.
Still no Byers. Soule remains in the game. Lone back is Martin. First and goal from the 2.
Now they tighten up their formation.
Soule is on the move. The lead block for Martin. Nothing doing there. Great penetration by the Seattle Seahawks. Chad Brown came shooting through, and Cortez Kennedy backed him up.
Chad Brown has been everywhere as well. This time Cortez Kennedy. Sinclair takes away the lead blockers and then the penetration up the field. The difference in good defenses and poor defenses is when you get a chance, you get on the other side of the ball. You don't wait for the running back to come to you.
Martin's only got 22 yards today.
Well, you knew, and we knew, talking to him yesterday, that was the first thing. Stop Curtis Martin first.
Second down. Goal to go from the 5. The pitch out goes to Martin. And he is...
We have to wait till the official gets up.
The official is knocked down. And he is not in. He is inside the 1, but he is not crossing the goal line.
Curtis Martin reached out to try to cross the ball across the plane. Let's see if we can see it on the replay. Now here he is, right at the line. If the ball crosses the plane, it's a touchdown.
Or hits the pylon.
Oh!
That's in. That's a touchdown.
And the crowd just saw the replay. They're groaning like I did. That one was a clear touchdown. Little toss. Now if the ball crosses, there it is.
He's over. He's inside the pylon.
Yeah, not only the ball, but his body was inside the end zone.
The line judge was knocked out. That's Dale Oram. And he was knocked on his fanny about 5-10 yards off the sidelines.
I saw there the soccer markings in the end zone. The reason is they had to replace the end zone turf before the ball game.
Fred Baxter running in, 3rd and goal from the 1. The pitch out to Martin. Touchdown. Oh, he read that well.
Boy, that was dangerous. They had a mix-up in their personnel. Late entry into the game, and they still got it off. Same kind of play, just a toss. Try to get outside the gap rush by the defense, and then turn it up. Now watch the turn right here. The penetration up the field, but he overruns it just one step too much. Phillip Daniels, quick pitch, good steal blocking inside. Jay Bellamy's the first one, but he's already in the end zone. Then they go for two.
Line for two. Soul again, shuffling. Fake handoff, play action to the end zone, and he drops it. Fred Baxter drops it in the end zone on the two-point try. He's only caught 2 passes all season, although he is the longest tenured tight end or wide receiver with the Jets. So they miss on 2, but they do get the Martin touchdown run and close the gap on the Seahawks. Official word on Keith Byers, but he's got all the wrapping and ice around that left wrist, left forearm, and that's why he wasn't in there. That's why Gerald Soule was in the game. So after the touchdown run by Martin in the field, 2-point try, here's the kick, and Amon Green, a talented speedster out of Nebraska, and a rookie takes it up to the 23-yard line. And tackled on the play by Chris Hayes. The Seahawks on top of the Jets. And those secondary players, that defense for Seattle was out there a long time.
26 consecutive plays. The Seattle defense on the field, and they're a little bit short in the defensive line. It's going to start wearing on them.
26 plays going back to the end of the first half, and a quick first down pass from Kitna to Mike Pritchard is caught, tumbling down at the 33, picking up 9.
Yeah, the Jets had that last drive at the end of the first half, and then of course the interception, and then this last drive. The Seattle Seahawks come right back, and a quick pass to Mike Pritchard. John Kitna has answered the call. Every time the Jets have scored, he's come back with a nice steady effort.
Hand off to Ricky Waters. Close to a first down, up near the 34.
Going to be short though.
Pepper Johnson makes the tackle.
Going to bring up a third down and short on that last drive for the New York Jets. On the other side, they were very efficient on third down. They converted on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 1 before they scored. Now it's Seattle's turn to try to convert on third down.
And they have not done so today.
They're 0 for 3. Missed on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3, and another 3rd down and 1. Seattle's 0 for 3 on third down conversions. Won't get to see it this time, though. First down on their second down effort. Now, Dennis Erickson is saying, I don't want to put my quarterback in under too much pressure right here. Stay with the game plan. Everybody stay calm. We have the lead. The fact that they didn't make the 2-point conversion keeps them 2 scores ahead.
Handoff on first down to Ricky Waters to the 36. Monday on CBS, David Allen Greer guest stars on Cosby. And Kevin James and Jerry Stiller star in King of Queens, followed by an all-new episode of Monday night's #1 comedy, Everybody Loves Raymond. And the show critics are calling the best new comedy of the year, Becker, starring Ted Danson, followed by an all-new LA Law and LA Doctors, Monday on CBS. Here's a pass, caught by Fourier. He's up to the 44. Kitna has a great amount of calm in that pocket.
Well, you know, they have taken away a lot of his options. They just line up with a standard backfield. They want to make sure that the New York Jets can't do too much in terms of disguising what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball, take away some of the hard reads that a young quarterback would have to make. But what Kitna does in a positive way is he stays calm. Young quarterbacks, everything's a blur out there. Everything's a gray. Things move real fast. Things seem to be moving at normal speed for this kid.
From the 44, they do get a first down. Kitna moves up in the pocket. He gets a block in the play from Kendall. Getting a block from Waters. Another block upfield, and he's out of bounds. Reggie Brown through the last. It was up near the 35, and he gains 20. The scrambling mobile quarterback, John Kitna.
This is the other thing that he brings. The reason they made the move from Warren Moon, other than the fact Warren had those cracked ribs, is the mobility of John Kitna. That's why John Freeze is not in there in place of Kitna, blocking downfield. You know, when you've got a quarterback that moves, you're going to get the blocks downfield. Now look at the quarterbacks for the Seattle Seahawks. Look at all of these schools. They go everywhere. Milton, who doesn't even have football anymore, and of course, Dartmouth. And just the kick.
End around Galloway. Here goes Kitna throwing a block. Cox can't get it. He's blocked by Fourier. And down goes Galloway at about the 38, 39-yard line, losing 3. Jason Ferguson finally made the tackle.
You know, it's difficult to run a reverse unless your defense is flowing this way. But when you've got people coming up the field this way, as the New York Jets staying home on the backside, and a guy like Brian Cox who's fast, even though he doesn't make that play, he forced Joey Galloway back into where the other tacklers were coming.
2 long touchdown receptions today by Galloway. 2nd down and 13. The blitz. There's the blitz from Cascadden. Picked up nicely outside the pass goes, and it's caught by wide receiver Mike Pritchard. He grabs another one. This one good for 9. And Kitna unfazed by the blitz.
Quick throws. You have to throw them quick when people are coming hard. Now, they brought more people from John Kitna's left side than he could block, so he had no chance to pick up the blitz. He just had to get rid of the ball, which he did. If you don't get there in a hurry, it's an offensive advantage when they blitz.
Approaching 4 minutes to play in the third. 3rd down and 4. On the Jets 29. Outside Kitna again throws right on the money to Pritchard. Another 1st down to the Jets' 24-yard line. Tackle made by Otis Smith.
And they're working one-on-one on the outside. Otis Smith's a guy that gets a lot of those one-on-one attacks. But anytime you're bringing the extra rusher upfield, you don't have anybody to lay underneath the throw, so at least one-on-one.
Pritchard has caught everything thrown his way today. 7 passes, 7 receptions.
Joey Galloway's done the same thing for the big yardage.
Pritchard had a lot of great 3rd down catches last week in the Dome against Tennessee. 1st and 10. Ricky Waters. There's by Pepper Johnson, brought down from behind after a gain of 2. Pepper Johnson making some waves in the press earlier this week. Did not like being platooned. He plays the 1st and 3rd quarter. Then Dwayne Gordon comes in and plays the 2nd and 4th quarter.
Well, anytime you get a competitor and a guy that's been in the league a while and he's in the stretch run of a playoff or pushing for the playoffs, they want to be on the field every snap. They want to be leaders on the field. We've got an injury out there. One of the offensive linemen for the Seahawks.
The center, Chris Gray, who's taking the place of the injured Kevin Glover. Gray is down.
They're going to take a long look at this and see if he can recover. Take the timeout. Bill Belichick, defensive coordinator and assistant head coach for the New York Jets.
So an injury timeout for Seattle, leading 28-19. Gray is 62 and injured on the play. Looked like his left knee.
And he'll be replaced by the left guard. Pete Kendall will move over to the center. Going to watch the exchange now with a young quarterback. And then Todd Weiner will go to left guard. And he's a rookie. And he plays most of the positions inside. Backup linemen have to be able to play guard and tackle at least. Only 7 offensive linemen active for today's game. Glover's out. That means that most of the time you go into a ballgame, you have 8 active offensive linemen unless you need somebody else at another position. And with all the injuries at the linebacker position, the Seattle Seahawks had to go a little bit heavier on the other side of the ball.
This line knows change. They've had major reshuffling in the offensive line for 10 consecutive years. 2nd down 8 after the Seattle injury timeout. 10th play of the drive.
Important exchange right here.
On the 22, good snap, getting a pull from it, gets a block from Waters and throws incomplete. That's the first time today any pass by Kitna has hit the ground. There is a flag down at the 19-yard line. Against Seattle.
Offensive pass interference. The Jets did the smart thing. They blitzed right up the middle where they had a young quarterback with a first-time center, Pete Kendall.
Pass interference, offense, number 87, 10-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
Reserve tight end, Crumpler.
You know, the defensive players have as much right to that turf out there as a wide receiver or a tight end or any receiver. And once they plant, once they establish themselves, you can't push away if you're an offensive receiver.
pushing him back to the 32. Second down and 18. Here comes Casket. Keaton gets away and then throws over the head of his open running back, Ricky Waters.
Bill Parcells with Bill Belichick. 105-65. Look at this. Without him, does not have a winning record. Your staff is crucial. If you're a head coach, you've got to have good people around you. They can handle meetings, they can handle practices, they can handle situations when you're not there, or you're at the other end of the field on the practice Wednesday and Thursday when you're putting that game plan in.
Belichick was actually announced as the head coach of the Jets before Parcells was able to extract himself from the situation up in New England. Third down, 18. Here's Kitna throwing a bullet to the near side, incomplete. Looking for veteran Brian Blaze.
And the Jets decided after the injury to Chris Gray that they were going to bring the house. They did on the last 3 plays. They blitzed heavily, different areas, leaving one-on-one. Got just enough pressure. That time Kitna threw the ball falling away. First time I've seen him kind of fall away when he's delivering the pass.
Todd Peterson, who kicked the game-winning kick last week, will try a 50-yarder. He's got the distance, and the kick is up and good from 50 yards. His long this year, 51. And he tacks on 3 more, and the Seahawks continue to stun the full house here at Giant Stadium, 31-19.
And the Jets were in what's called a PAT block. They were bringing everybody. They were not going to account for any fake field goal. They were going to try to get pressure up the middle because long field goals have a low trajectory. You got a chance to block those, but as you can see, that one had plenty of distance and plenty of accuracy as well.
He probably has been the most consistent part of Seattle's offense all season long.
Plays kickers and kickoff people, not only the cover guys, but the kicker that can put the ball down there, leave it in the air long enough for the coverage people to get down and make tackles, and put it in the end zone enough to where they force their opponent to start on the 20-yard line. Probably the most underrated part of the game. It's the hidden yardage that special teams coaches like to talk about.
Peterson kicked a 50-yarder last week. He's now 16 of 19 for the season. And he replaced John Casey, who, of course, replaced Norm Johnson. They've had 3 pretty good kickers right in a row.
Absolutely. And kicking the ball today, as every part of the game is today for the Seattle Seahawks, they have to win this one. They're in the playoff hunt. They can't lose another one. They've got that 6 losses on the other end. And in the AFC, I think you have to go 10-6 to do it. In the NFC, not as many contenders over there. 9-7 probably going to be good enough. Maybe even an 8-8 will slip in.
Yeah, 10-6 will get you home field in the NFC. Kickoff by Peterson, a little bit short. Dedrick Ward from the 11-yard line with a flank ahead of him. Breaks a quick tackle, then takes it up to the 34-yard line. Tackled by reserve linebacker Hillary Butler. Well, tomorrow on CBS, have you ever been trapped on a blind date with no end in sight? That's what happens to Ted Danson in the new hit comedy Becker. Coming up tomorrow here on CBS.
Ted Danson, master of the one-liner.
Yeah. From the 34-yard line, 1st and 10 for Vinny Testaverde. He's deployed 4 receivers. It's a block from Martin, buys him some time, throws a low pass, and on 2 knees, it's lassoed by Keyshawn Johnson. And on the play, picks up 11 and a 1st down. Let's go to Jim Nantz in our CBS studios in New York.
All right, thank you, Kevin. The Bills on the rebound after the loss to New England last week, and Flutie's over 300 yards. Here he flips it to Eric Mould, his 2nd touchdown of the day, and they're up 20 in the 4th quarter at Cincinnati. Let's go back to you.
Flutie is 5-2 as a starter, looking to go to 6-2 as a starter. What a great story he has written for the Buffalo Bills. And a timeout taken by Testaverde. I don't know if we saw somebody didn't like it. 5 seconds on the play clock, so there was plenty of time there.
Look at the look on Bill Parcells' face. He knows how important that timeout is going to be in the 4th quarter. They're down by 12 points, 2 scores. He is being careful with this lecture right here. He wants to let him know that he's not happy. At the same time, don't destroy any relationship. They need to be able to stay on the same page.
2 timeouts left now for the Jets. Same with Seattle. Well, last year, the season opener was the Kingdom between these two teams.
That's Kyle Brady catching that touchdown, and who is that? Neil O'Donnell with 5 touchdown passes in that ball game. What a difference a year makes.
And these players remembered it. I know their coach did. He didn't want to talk about it.
Oh,
it stung.
Yeah, it did. Players don't forget that. A year's not a long enough time to remember.
First down to the 45 to fake the blitz. Testaverde dumps it off short, looking for Martin right on his tail. There's big Sam Adams. Incomplete pass. The defense of Seattle has really played well today.
You can feel them even getting stronger and stronger as this game goes on. With Cortez Kennedy and Sam Adams inside, 2 really big guys that can wear down, especially if they're in the pass rush all the time, as they have been against the New York Jets. And they don't have a lot of guys to substitute. We mentioned earlier that Dan Saliamoa is not in the lineup. He's part of that rotation, giving them a rest. They haven't gotten it today.
Second down 10, they bring the blitz, picked up by O'Dwyer, and a pass downfield. The tight end Brady gets that one, tackled by Jay Bellamy, a gain of 9 to the 46.
Once again, anytime you bring that blitz, unless of course you're using the old fire zone or the zone blitz, you're one-on-one down the field, and there's nobody between you and the receiver. I always told my quarterbacks that the intercept guy is the underneath guy. It's the linebacker that's running, reading your eyes, not the one-on-one coverage guy. So if you can get one-on-one coverage without anybody underneath, you're not throwing many interceptions.
Winding down the third quarter. Third down, a long one inside the Seattle 47. Martin, blocked by Soul. Martin explodes. A flag is thrown at the 43 as Martin takes it to the 37.
Keyshawn Johnson is going to get called for holding by his reaction. Somebody on the Jets is going to get called. Leave the helmet on, Keyshawn. Obviously, he thought he threw a good block.
He usually does.
He's a hard worker. He's a tough wide receiver.
Holding offense number 33, 10-yard penalty. It remains third down.
Byers is out with a bruised arm, so Gerald Soule has had to take his place. Byers will not return.
Soule was called for the holding. He was represented well there by Keyshawn Johnson, but yes, Keyshawn was not the culprit.
That's a pretty good advocate to have, a guy that's going to yell and scream for you.
Yes. I think, though, I'm just going to guess here, Keyshawn thought it was being called against him. You see Keith Byers there with that wrap. That's all ice. That's not swelling.
If it is, we got a problem. Or he's got a problem. Third and 11 from the 44. Blitz is on again. Pass. Brady catches shy of the first down. He's down to the 48. He had to get to the 45. A gain of 8 on the play.
That was the same blitz that they intercepted earlier in the game. That time Anthony Simmons didn't come across.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Seattle 31, the first place Jets 19. We'll return to Giant Stadium after this message and a word from your local CBS station. In the Meadowlands with Sam White, Kevin Harlan, 31-19 Seattle. And a surprise, we begin the fourth quarter. 4th and 3 from the Seattle 48. Quick pass by Keyshawn Johnson. Darrell Williams got him from behind. He gets a first down, a gain of 19 on the play. His second 19-yard reception today.
Keyshawn Johnson, he's just going to look. This is that looky pass. They've thrown it all day because Seattle, is blitzing when the New York Jets empty that backfield. Empty means there's nobody back there but the quarterback. You got 5 wide receivers out wide, and the Seattle Seahawks are bringing quick pressure. That was a 4th down at midfield. Big gamble that time by the New York Jets. Pays off big.
1st and 10 from the Seahawk 30-yard line. Soule in motion. Play action by Testaverde. Wanted to go deep. Goes to the outlet. Soule. He goes to the 26.
Again, the East AFC standings. Jets and Miami come in today tied. Buffalo and New England. And then in the West, Denver, of course, still looking for that perfect year. Seattle, 6-6, still in the playoff hunt, very much so. Anytime you got a 6 on the win-loss scale there, you got a chance to go 10-6. That's what you forecast for your ball club.
Second down, 7. The pitch to Martin, a block from Mawai. Slicing inside, gets to the 21.
Kevin, very few centers can pull and block like that. Kevin Mawai is only one of a handful. Dermontti Dawson, probably for Pittsburgh, is another. Wild card picture, as you see, the New York Jets obviously haven't thrown up their division and they're tied with Miami, but at 8-4, they're sitting pretty for at least a wild card berth. Seattle has to climb the ladder a little bit more. A lot of teams bunched.
Third down and 1. The fake to Martin. Great window dressing for Testaverde. Chased by Sinclair. There's a block by Fabini, which buys time for Testaverde, and he hits his tight end Brady for a first down. A gain of 4. What a well-executed play.
Token fake. Now he's looking downfield as he moves to the right. Look at Fabini right here. That's the block. Just gives Vinny Testaverde enough throwing motion to get the ball to Kyle Brady. They've made some clutch conversions here, 3rd and 4th down conversions. Beautiful play action that time up the middle.
9th play of the drive. It began back at the 34-yard line. Souls in motion from the 17, 1st and 10. Testaverde to the end zone, wide open, Keyshawn Johnson.
Quick fake. Darrell Williams is the guy that makes the mistake. It's what's called a cover 2. 2 safeties in the middle. You see Darrell Williams right here. He's got the deep middle. He pulls up short. Keyshawn Johnson goes in behind him for the touch.
John Hall, the extra point. On that drive, there was a clutch 3rd down pass to Brady and a 19-yard reception by Johnson before he gets this touchdown pass of 16 yards. The Jets are back in business. Beauty in the Meadowlands.
I tell you what, both teams refusing to give in. And good play on both sides of the ball. We haven't seen mistakes made very much. It's been just good, solid play, one-on-one matchups. One side winning, one side losing each other.
Hall's kickoff taken at the 2. And Amon Green is up to the 24. We'll see John Kitna again. Monday on CBS, 9 Central on CBS.
Todd Weiner out of the game. Pete Kendall goes back to left guard. Chris Gray back at center.
On the 24, 1st and 10 for Kitna. The pitch out to Waters. A block from Trumplin. Waters can't turn the corner. Gets 2 at the most. Tackle made by Anthony Pleasant.
Now here's where everything turns up, including the crowd. This is when they become important. Quick toss to the outside, trying to seal off the inside. But really, the guy that turned that back in was Otis Smith. He came up quick from his corner position to force the runner back inside.
Second down 8 from the 26. Kitna. He got a block from Habib, and he throws to his tight end Fourier to the 31. Picks up 4. Fourier with the catch.
That time the New York Jets went to that 2 deep safety, rolled up the corners. Kitna read it beautifully and went to his tight end. Bill Belichick, the defensive coordinator, trying to give John Kitna as many looks as he can give him, hoping that he'll make a mistake.
You wonder when he might go to Galloway again. He has not thrown to Galloway in the second half after connecting with him twice in the first quarter on touchdown passes of 70 and 57 yards. It's 3rd and 3. Kitna again with time, throws the pass. He goes to Galloway there, and it's incomplete. The pass is broken up by Marcus Coleman, a reserve cornerback.
This is slant inside. Now watch him. He's going to come inside with his hand is legal. His backhand, as you can see, flying away from Joey Galloway. He didn't have his hand on it. Officials in good position to see a good, clean knock away by Coleman.
Jeff Beagles with a rare punt, just his second of the afternoon. Leon Johnson retrieves it at the 23, and he's up to about the 29. 45-yard punt, 5-yard return.
The intensity has been turned up on both sides of the ball.
The Jets get it back now, down by 5. Seattle trying to hold on. The Jets building momentum. One of the great time of possession teams in the NFL with Sam White. Kevin Harlan, take us inside the Jets huddle now.
Well, the Jets are going to do what they've been doing. They've been throwing the ball well. They're throwing it quick, though. They're going to get rid of it quick. Seattle, on the other hand, they're going to come after him. Vinny made one mistake on a blitz when he emptied the backfield.
And what about Seattle?
Well, Seattle's they're going to make sure that Kidno, when he's in the ball game, doesn't have anything new to think about defensively. I think they're going to bring people.
The pitch out goes to Martin. He breaks one tackle, and he spins and turns and twists his way to the 34. He picks up 5.
The key to both sides of the ball, strategy on both sides here, is sure things. Go to your strengths. Turnovers kill you, obviously, with 10 minutes and 22 seconds left. Both teams are going to get the ball at least 2 more times in this ball game, maybe 3. So they're going to have opportunities. The Jets will have an opportunity to take the lead as well as Seattle to extend theirs or hold it. 2 good-looking football teams today, though. They brought their games.
Second down 4. Testaverde with all the time in the world to throw. Great break up by Springs on a pass intended for the lanky Keyshawn Johnson.
Sean Springs has allowed only 1 touchdown pass all year long. Oh, got a little hand on him there.
A lot of hand.
I would say that you're going to see that one called most of the time for holding, especially when the ball's coming in that direction. But right at the end, great effort by Sean Springs.
There's so much hand-to-hand combat between cornerbacks and wide receivers in the NFL today. Empty backfield, 3rd and 4. Testaverde looks one way, throws the other. Intended for Leon Johnson, incomplete. Terry Joseph knocked it away. Joseph is the former college quarterback.
Still a lot of one-on-one coverage down the field, but they're leaving safeties behind this one-on-one. There's a safety in behind Joseph right here as he makes that knock away. Vinny Testaverde feels like that the last 2, the one to Keyshawn Johnson 2 plays ago, as well as that pass, there was interference, that the defender was just a little too tight on their receiver.
On the other side, what great defense by Seattle. 3 and out for the Jets. Here's the subsequent kick by John Kidd. And it's fair caught back at about the 16-yard line by Joey Galloway. A tight one from the Meadowlands. The Seahawks still up by 5.
A lot of pressure on a quarterback that's looking mighty good. 13 for 16, 2 interceptions and 2 touchdowns for John Kidna. But this drive is as important as all of those stats.
Bobbled the snap, picks it up clean, throws a pass, and it's caught by Poirier. At the 30, a gain of 14 on a bobbled snap that somehow he reeled in, regained his composure, and then fired it, now draws a smile.
I'll tell you what, this shows a lot of confidence. Look at the grab, second grab right here. This shows a lot of confidence from Dennis Erickson in this young quarterback. 1st and 10, they come out firing the ball backed up in a tight game as the clock winds down. Now, both sides are going to get the ball again. The New York Jets are going to get the ball again. So Seattle wants to milk the clock as long as they can. Another tough assignment for a young quarterback.
Young quarterback, Erickson has shown confidence in, especially with Warren Moon on the bench. Play action by Kidna. Outside it goes. Pass is caught. Lassoed on the far side by Mike Pritchard. It's a gain of 3. Tackle made by Otis Smith.
What Seattle is doing right now to the New York Jets, the Jets were playing for the run. They thought that the Seattle would try to grind it out, eat up the clock. 2 passes in a row. Now the Jets have got to start to play pass runs. 2nd down and about 7 to go. This should open up the run. I'm expecting Ricky Waters to get this one.
It's his time of the game, isn't it?
It is his time. He's calling for it, I'll guarantee you that.
Max Strong is out. He's injured, and they got Reggie Brown in there. Waters in the backfield. Sprinting out of the pocket is Kidna. He's being chased. He gets away, and he runs out of bounds. He was chasing the play by Bobby Hamilton. Run out of bounds by Ray Mickens, and he gains 4.
Now, in about 2 years, he'll be making that move, and he'll slide inbounds, keeping the clock going. Actually, didn't get a real good spot on that one. Looked like he got another half a yard, but he didn't get the spot for it.
Chat live with Dolphins quarterback Dan Marino this Tuesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time on America Online at keyword Team NFL and on the web at NFL.com.
3rd and 3. Now you find out what kind of quarterback. This could be Ricky Waters' time.
They're only 1 of 6 on 3rd downs. Blitzes on. Great block by Waters. Kidna down Cascadden. With the sack on Kidna. Chad Cascadden was initially blocked by Waters, then got back up on his horse and rode it right in.
Here he comes. Now look, he is down right there. Gets back up, makes the sack. Kidna actually lucky to hold on to that football because it was away from his body and is only being held by one. There's the block. It's Ricky Waters on Cascadden. And then Cascadden tries to make the fumble. Whoa, almost a blocked punt.
So after the first sack of the game by either team, the punt sent to the 15. Leon Johnson attack from Cascadden. And the spinning Johnson up to the 39. 55-yard punt, 23-yard return. Fred Thomas at the tackle. The emotion of Ricky Waters. What a game in the Meadowlands. 9 left in the game. Jets down 31-26. They've got it. 1st and 10 at their own 38.
Every play, bigger premium, mistakes, bigger penalties.
Testaverde with the rush coming right in his face. Short arms the tight end Kyle Brady, covered by linebacker Chad Brown. 2nd down and 10.
Jet strategy hasn't changed. They continue to have a lot of wide receivers, sometimes as many as 5. They're not always wide receivers, tight ends, and running backs out like wide receivers. The Seattle Seahawks have mixed it up. They brought pressure with linebackers, and they've also sat back in the zone, bringing just their 4 defensive linemen. They've gotten pretty good pressure. Michael Sinclair and Chad Brown, 2 of the key guys on the defensive side of the ball, now getting pressure on Vinny Testaverde.
And Sinclair being blocked by a rookie right tackle Fabini, who's done a nice job with him today. 2nd down and 10. Testaverde down the sideline, looking for Johnson. Incomplete. There goes the flag. And it's on Sean Springs at about the 38-yard line.
Well, we'll take another look at it, but it looked like Sean Springs was running step for step, looking back to the ball. One official ruled it a good play by Springs. The other official thought it was a foul.
Pass interference, defense, number 24. It's an automatic 1st down.
Sean Springs, Keyshawn Johnson. Both have a right to the ball. If the head is back looking for it, both heads are back, both are running, that's not interference.
He's going for the ball.
That's absolutely not even close to interference. One official ruled it correctly as a good defensive play by Sean Springs. I will guarantee you that Dennis Erickson would say, Sean, don't change a thing. Play every down just the same way.
That's what you'd say.
Terrible call in a crucial situation.
In essence, a 25-yard penalty to the 37 of Seattle. The blitz they bring. Testaverde runs deep in the pocket, throws to Johnson. He's whacked by Springs and belted out of bounds at the 40.
Jets tried that play a little bit earlier to Wayne Crabette with pretty much the same result. Good solid hit by Sean Springs. There is Keyshawn Johnson. He holds for a second, then slips out into the field. You see the offensive lineman trying to slip out in front of him. Springs gets there before the lineman can block it. Knocks him out of bounds. At least it stopped the clock. No, it did not stop the clock. He was hit inbounds and driven out. The clock continues to run.
Approaching 6.5 minutes. 2nd down 11 from the 38. Empty backfield. Testaverde throws. It's dropped. A rare drop by Wayne Crabette. Covered by Kerry Joseph, the safety.
All right, now Bill Parcells got to think 2 plays ahead. It's 3rd down and 11. Does he go for it on 4th down? And at what point does he go for it? If it's 4th down and 3 or 2. If it's 4th down and 11 at midfield right here, with 6:35 left, he could try to pin them back. One strategy is to pin them back. Your defense has been doing a pretty good job. Get the ball. You'll get the ball back one more time. They have 2 timeouts left. They're going to really regret the timeout that Vinny Testaverde took right at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Good point. 3rd and 11 from the 38. 6.5 to play. Testaverde downfield. He's got Johnson for a 1st down. There's another flag thrown. Springs on the coverage. A gain of 17 on the play. It's a penalty against Springs. Again. On Johnson again.
The penalty's there. They'll just take the play.
Pass interference, defense, number 24. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Springs tangled up again with Johnson.
Two top players in their position. You can see Springs reached out and grabbed him. He actually fouled Keyshawn Johnson worse earlier, and it wasn't called. This time he gets the call with the catch. A lot of very good execution on both sides of the ball by these teams.
On the 21, first and 10. Prevent in motion. A fake handoff. And then they give a delay to Martin, who runs outside, then is brought down around the ankles by Fred Thomas.
The reason they ran the reverse right there is they're looking for quick flow. They're looking for the Seattle Seahawks to be over pursuing in an effort to make a play. Maybe he slipped one going back the other way. Did not work. He stayed home. I tell you what, all day today we have seen good play on both sides of the ball. Team defense and team offense.
Well, the defense in particular of Seattle has been something. 25th coming into today. They've looked a lot better. Martin has been very quiet this afternoon. Second down, 13. On the 24, Testaverde, pocket troubles, going down the middle, incomplete, not a receiver to be found. He was still in the pocket between the tight ends, but there's no yellow on the field.
Well, the Seattle Seahawks are arguing who is he throwing the ball to. They do have a legitimate claim. The rule, of course, is if you're within the tackle, the tight end area right there, and he clearly is in that area and lets the ball go, and there is nobody in that part of the field wearing a green jersey. Dennis Erickson saying
that's a horrible call.
That was a bad call. That's two in this drive.
Martin was upfield. Now the ball whistled about 15 feet over his head. Perhaps he was throwing it out. Third and 13 outside it goes for Dedrick Ward. The catch made at the 20, but well shy of the first down. He picks up 4.
Well, they have to go for it now, I would think. But with 5:26, they may choose to kick the field goal. If they kick it, they would trail by only 2 points. It'd be 29. They make it 29-31. If their defense could hold them, using their timeouts, they would get the ball again. Bill Parcells says, no, let's do it now.
What would you do?
I'd go for it right now, too. I think that you've got the chances of not being able to stop Seattle. They've moved the ball. Kitten has shown no signs of being afraid of a tough situation.
This brings the capacity crowd to their feet. 4th and 9. They've converted twice on previous 4th downs today. Across the middle, short. Big defensive play is made by Bellamy. And on downs, after the catch by Ward produces just a couple of yards, on downs, the Jets turn it back to Seattle with 4:55 to play in the game.
See what Bill Parcells is saying is that's all right. Now here's the quick throw back inside on the right side. They don't make the first down, but they still have the same situation they would have had they, let's say, missed the field goal. That they have their defense on the field. They're going to try to get the ball back one more time. The problem with getting the ball back the next time is that they'll have to score a touchdown rather than a field goal. Had they kicked the field goal then and gotten the ball back for one last 2-minute drive, the field goal could have won the game for them.
On the 15 on change of downs, 1st and 10, Ricky Waters sent up the middle and then banged hard and brought down by Anthony Pleasant. Gain of about a yard.
And the Jets defensive players look to the sideline. Do you want us to call timeout now, or you want to continue to play? There's 4:40 left in the ballgame. You see Bill Belichick saying, keep going. 2 timeouts on both sides of the ball. Jets having 2. They used one at the end of the 3rd quarter. Obviously, the team that's behind is in need of those timeouts more than the team that's ahead.
Seahawks need to win to stay alive in the playoff picture. The Jets, Parcells told us yesterday, facing a critical game today. This would dictate the rest of December. 2nd down. Outside it goes, caught by Pritchard. Another catch, his 9th of the day. They've thrown to him 9 times. He's caught every pass. He's up to the 23, tackle made by Smith. Tonight on CBS, why would a high school all tonight on CBS? 3rd and 2 from the 23. Waters again, trying to climb over the pile, and he's short of the first down by a yard. The Jets want to call a timeout. Corwin Brown raced onto the field and called for a timeout. The Jets left with 1 with 3:25 to play.
That's the right thing to do. Stop it. Don't let the Seattle Seahawks use all of the 40 seconds.
Buffalo wins. Atlanta comes from a 21-3 deficit to beat Indianapolis. The Chargers, who play the Seahawks next week, lead by 3 in the nation's capital in Jacksonville on the way to their 10th win. As a player down, it looks like Brian Cox.
He did not move after that unpiling of the short yardage.
San Francisco is in overtime, and New Orleans is taking apart Dallas today down in the Louisiana Superdome. So they take a look at Brian Cox. Well, coming up next, most of you will see the classic rivalry between the Kansas City Chiefs and the unbeaten Denver Broncos. Others will see the Miami Dolphins take on the Oakland Raiders as the two teams fight to keep their playoff hopes alive. Miami tied with the Jets for first place in the East. All coming up next here on CBS.
Of course, Miami still looking for a division win, but the wild card alive in the wild card picture alive for both those teams, Oakland and Miami, even if they don't win the division. Denver, the pressure just builds with each week. The pressure not to win a division or to go to the playoffs, but to have a perfect season.
Brian Cox, an interesting story. Let go by Chicago. Actually made a trip to the Seahawks, but they passed on him. Bill Parcells took a flyer on him when Marvin Jones, another linebacker, went down. And Cox has played so well that in October they gave him a 2-year extension.
He's a make things happen guy on the field. He can run. Explosive hitter, and as Bill Parcells said, he stirs things up.
Here's Sam White, Kevin Harlan, the Meadowlands, and East Rutherford. 3:25 to play in the game. Seattle leading first place New York, 31-26. A punt by the Seahawks, Jeff Beagles. Retrieved at the 30-yard line by reserve running back Leon Johnson, and he takes it to the 36. 46-yard punt. Tackle made by reserve Mike Kroll.
Now the importance of the call made on the last drive by the New York Jets. They had a chance to kick a field goal, which would have put them within 2 points. They chose to go for it on 4th down and about 9, did not make it. Now they have to score a touchdown on this drive with 3:15 left and only 1 timeout remaining for the New York Jets. This is the kind of things that after the fact, 2020 hindsight, that Bill Parcells is probably saying to himself, boy, I'd like to have those 3 points that we could have had on the last drive. Our defense held them. Here we are sitting in a position just to drive down, get into field goal position to win. Instead, we've got to get down in the end zone to win.
Jets kept coming in as the healthiest team in the NFL. 2 pretty serious injuries today. Aaron Glenn, after intercepting a pass from John Kitna, twisting an ankle. Keith Byers is out of the game. And they had no one on their injury report coming into today. It's 1st and 10. Testaverde hit by Sinclair and is incomplete to Wayne Grabett. Covered by Kerry Joseph. 2nd down and 10. Sinclair, number 2 in the NFL in sacks.
I'll say it again. It's Michael Sinclair and Chad Brown. Those are the 2 key players on the defensive side of the ball right now. They're the ones that are going to make something happen. Now, if they get the pressure on Vinny and force either a mistake or the quick throws, those defensive backs can stay with the wide receiver.
Grabett has not caught a pass in the second half.
Not over yet.
2nd down, 10 from the 36. Testaverde blitzes on pass. Caught by Grabett. Leaping grab at the 43. Tackled by Terry McDaniel, a gain of 20.
Wayne Grabett out of the slot is a much better receiver. He seems to find a hole. He gears down right in the middle of that zone, just over the head of Kerry Joseph and before the safeties can get there.
1st and 10 from the 44 outside. Testaverde with the strike. This one brought in by Alex Van Dyke. Here's a kid who came into today with 1 reception. He's caught 3 already.
Plenty of time now. It's still at the 2-minute warning timeout, and they've got their 1 timeout, as well as out of bounds and incompletion stopping the clock.
2nd and 1, screen pass. Leon Johnson behind the block of Mawai. He gains 5. He picks up the 1st down. The clock continuing to tick as we approach the 2-minute warning.
See, right now they're 1st down at the 30-yard line. They're actually within field goal range. Had they gotten those 3 points on the previous drive, they'd be sitting pretty right now.
1st and 10 from the 30. Testaverde the punt. Going, he's got a receiver. Can Dyke caught it, dropped it incomplete, and a flag is down at the 22.
And it looked like Seattle grabbed Van Dyke when he made the out and up move.
The Seahawks have been burned in this fourth quarter with one defensive penalty after another. 2 on Springs. Let's see who this is on.
Illegal contact, defense number 22, 5-yard penalty with automatic first down.
Fred Thomas.
Nickel defensive back in there with the extra wide receivers in the ball game in this 2-minute situation. He'll get a chance. You see him grab up at the top of the screen. All you have to do is put a hand on somebody 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and it's a penalty. They're emphasizing that as officials this year, and especially in a situation where you know they're throwing the football.
And he caught it. They're inside the 10. From the 25. First and 10. Draw play handoff. Slithering moves by Leon Johnson to the 15. Tackled by Darrell Williams. We're at the 2-minute warning.
Because there were 2:03 left before that snap, they could run the ball without worrying about having to stop the clock. It stops automatically at 1:58.
Here on business.
There must be some mistake. Let me talk to him.
2-minute warning here at the Meadowlands with Sam White, Kevin Harlan, 31-26, Seattle on top. 1:58 to play. Jets have one timeout. They've got it 2nd and 1 at the Seahawk 15.
And during that timeout, referee Phil Luckett got all the officials together. They got on the same page, make sure that there are no mistakes with a minute 58 left.
Big handoff to Martin, outside for Scholl. Spinning catch at the 10. He's inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal on a gain of 11.
And now, of course, the time is not a factor unless, of course, you score too quick. Token fake and then right quick into the flat. He's outside all the coverage. That time it was Anthony Simmons who blew the cover. Looked like he took the bite on the fake a little bit and didn't get out there on the one-on-one coverage to the outside. A rookie linebacker trying to do everything right here at the closing minutes. Got beat on that one.
1st and goal from the 3. Martin by himself, 3 tight ends. Johnson at the top of your screen. Penalty flag. They blow that dead before they get a chance to go.
Looks like Matt O'Dwyer or Jason Fabini, somebody on the right side move.
Prior to the snap, false start offense, number 69. 5 yards, it remains first down.
Jason Fabini, the right tackle over here. He's going to move. See him flinch right there. There's enough crowd. The crowd is into this. Now, obviously, they're not trying to make noise to distract their home team, but they're into it, and the tackle and the tight end are the farthest away from that snap count, the voice of the quarterback. They're trying to anticipate it. That time they flinched. Jason Fabini flinched anyway.
Vinny Testaverde today has completed 42 passes. He is 3 short of tying an NFL record. Bledsoe holds it.
Those 5 yards may actually help the passing game. Gives you a little more room.
Long play handoff to the former college quarterback in North Carolina, Leon Johnson, who gets a meager yard running up the middle. He is a quarterback, that is, for a while until Natron Means left and they converted him to running back.
What they're looking for is an up-the-field rush where everybody comes and runs by a quick handoff to the running back. Didn't work that time. Seattle, as they've done all day today, playing good, solid team defense, everybody taking care of their assignment. Dennis Erickson has to be proud of the way this team's played this afternoon. But he is still churning inside like you can't believe.
2nd and goal at the 7th play of the drive. That's the motion. Handoff to Martin. Great tackle made by Cortez Kennedy. Now they're as far as the 5.
The Jets are playing for Seattle to be in an all-out pass rush, trying to pop it right by the pass rush with these quick hitting shots up the middle. At least they tried to. I'm expecting them to put the ball in the air on the next 2 tries if they don't score on the 3rd down here.
Plus, if the Jets do score, they're not going to leave a lot of time in the clock for Seattle if they would get it back.
They're in good shape with the clock. The clock is running down to 40 seconds right now. They don't care about that. They've got one timeout if they need it to stop the clock.
3rd and goal from the 5. Martin in the backfield. To the Testaverde. He's missed twice to Johnson. It's caught, but caught out of bounds for a third time today. 3 times they've gone to Johnson at that same exact place. 3 times he's caught it. 3 times he's caught it out of bounds.
The only question here is, was he pushed out of bounds? He was not. He would have come down out of bounds. Look, see, his one foot is inbounds. The other foot did not touch inbounds. There's going to be a question. Oh no, he's on the line. His first foot's on the line. Absolutely perfect call by the officials. Right there, you see his first foot coming down, does touch the white. Nice throw by Vinny, but he's just a little bit too long. He has been on 2 other occasions, right, already today.
3 times, same exact pattern, same exact result.
Here it is. New York Jets take a timeout. 4th down. Here's the ball game. Let's discuss this one. Get everything right.
What would you call in a position like this?
Well, they're going to put. I would expect them to put the ball in the air with a lot of options, meaning that you're going to maybe even move Vinny out of the pocket. The problem is he's on the right hash mark, so to give him most of the room, he's got to move to the left. It's tougher for a quarterback to roll to his left. The other one that just might surprise everybody with Seattle probably jumping into some kind of man-to-man coverage would be another run. Just pop it straight up the middle. The clock doesn't matter. It's your best call.
What do you think he's called defensively?
A gap defense. Make sure every gap's covered. He'd like to get help on Keyshawn Johnson and Wayne Corbett. Those are the 2 big guys, or the 2 clutch guys that the Jets statistically have gone to in this situation.
Jets are out of timeouts. Empty backfield. 5 receivers deployed for Testaverde. 4th and goal at the 5.
Man-to-man with 2 safeties helping deep, 1 on each side.
Quarterback. His drive is in for the touchdown. One official called it. Another official has waved him off. So now we've got a conflicting view on the field. The far sideline official raised his hands and signaled touchdown. And that's what they call. Because they want to go for 2.
They don't have a timeout, so they're going to get a normal 25 seconds as soon as the ball's spotted.
Sportsmanlike conduct. Seattle number 24 for throwing a helmet will be assessed on the kickoff.
Sean Springs has been penalized the entire second half.
Well, I said defense had to fill every gap. They did not have the gaps filled in the middle. Vinny Testaverde had a hole straight up the chute.
He almost fumbled.
Oh,
yeah,
whoa.
He didn't get across.
The ball did not cross the plane. From that angle, it looked like it did not cross the plane. Almost fumbled the snap. Remember, the ball has to cross the plane, not his head, not his shoulders.
He didn't get it.
He did not get it.
There was no way he was in. 2-point try. Soul in motion. Martin stopped, and down he goes at the 1. They do not convert on the 2-point try. The Jets lead by 1. 20 seconds to play. Seattle with 2 timeouts. That's a second missed touchdown by this crew today. Martin had a touchdown earlier in the game over the pylon. They didn't rule it a touchdown. And they called that one a touchdown when it was not a touchdown.
Let's watch this one right here. He's straight up the middle, almost bobbles it. There's the contact. The ball has to cross. You can see it even from this angle, which is not the best. Here's the best angle. Well, this is the 2-point conversion right here. Incomplete is the ruling on that one. Here's the quarterback sneak. Vinny Testaverde. He's got to get the ball across the plane. There is, the knee is down, the ball is down. No part of that ball.
Not even close. Not even close.
This has not been a very good effort by this crew today. They've made other calls. Remember the interference call that was called down the sideline, kept the drive alive on Sean Springs earlier was clearly not interference.
And this is the same crew which botched the Thanksgiving flip of the coin between Pittsburgh and Detroit.
Let me tell you, Dennis Erickson has every right to be furious. There's not a thing he can do. He'll get a phone call on Tuesday from Jerry Seaman saying, I'm sorry, that this mistake was made. Unfortunately, the coach has to live with the win-loss record.
One more time.
Quarterback sneak, 4th down, ball game on the line.
The ball is, his knee is down.
His knee is down about a yard short.
Exactly. Then the ball goes down. You see, he tries to shove it over right there, but
I'll tell you,
he's down.
No official ruled out a touchdown until they got up in the pile. And by the time he got to the pile, the ball was over.
Well, I was watching the far official at the goal line at the top of your screen. And he quickly put his arms up. How he can see from there, I have no idea.
He had the worst view because Vinny's right shoulder was down first, blocking the view of the ball as to whether it got across.
The umpire would have probably as good a view as any because he's right in the middle.
Actually, it's the officials down the line that are supposed to make that call. You won't see an umpire call touchdown. It'll be the judges on each side.
Kick, and remember the penalty on Springs, which drives this kick deep. Amon Green is up to the 24-yard line. 2 timeouts, 15 seconds for the Seahawks.
There's going to be an interesting vote on instant replay in the league meetings this spring.
Well, I know that Ralph Wilson up in Buffalo, who has constantly voted against replay, I think had his head turned last week. He'll probably change his mind. Bill Parcells normally votes against it, voted for it last year. I'm sure will vote for it this year.
Well, Bill Parcells a year ago got robbed in his run for the playoffs
in Detroit.
Late in the year. The officials do a good job. Let's don't hammer them to death here. They don't miss many, but when they miss one like that, it's crucial. It makes a difference in the win or the loss.
Shotgun formation from the 25. 1st and 10. There's a block from Ballard. Great time for Kitna. Winds up, and that ball may have even slipped out of his hands. It's incomplete. No pressure was on him. It just slipped right out. 10 seconds left with 2 timeouts.
What he was trying to do is get close enough to throw the Hail Mary into the end zone. They can still do it. They've got a timeout, but they've got to either get the ball off quick and then call an immediate timeout, go down as soon as you catch it inbounds if you do, or catch it and be immediately out of bounds. The Jets are going to play outside in. Don't let the guy to the sideline.
2nd down, 10 from the 25.
3-man rush.
Good block by Jones. The pass by Kitna hangs up high, comes down, deflected and incomplete. 2 seconds left for Kitna on 3rd and 10.
Still a chance. The ball bounced up. There was a chance had a Seattle Seahawk been running by the pile to maybe catch one. They'll go the same play again. This is just the old everybody down the field, throw the ball up and fight for it. And hope there are no interference calls.
By the way, we should probably give credit to the Jets for a great call and Testaverde taking it up the middle. That was a wonderful decision.
Great call. They saw that there was going to be, the gap was there, and there was nobody behind. There was no linebacker behind that front line of defensive linemen.
They got one.
Kitna burns the timeout. Why not? You might as well do it. Let's see. They have 7 defensive backs. Kitna moving up. Given time on 3rd and 10, the game's final play. It's caught. Blades tries to run with it. It's a loose ball, a fumble. The Jets get it back, and the Jets win. What a game. The game-winning touchdown.
You called it at home.
So now for Sam White, Kevin Harlan sings So Long from Giant Stadium with a final score. The first place Jets 32, Seattle 31. You're watching the NFL on CBS.